I don't see how we can make bigger enemies.
To be offended or frightened of everything.
So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcasting.
Sorry, my leg's stuck. There we go. It's the morning show. Welcome to the morning show. It's Wednesday. As always, my name is Phil Balabanos. You can check me out on balabanos.com, but I won't go on about that because I really want to talk about this motherfucker right here. The Poseidon 6ix9ine producing the morning show. It's been a big morning for Poseidon. A very big morning. He got a job offer, declined a job offer, and now he's back producing. All of that happened in like 5 minutes. The man clearly top of his game.
That was actually not bad.
Thank you. Thank you. I advocated for my client to get this job. We did some negotiating with none other than George Jiggity Chance Drizos, who does not want Poseidon to work for him. His exact words were, bro, are you fucking serious? What am I, Pantelis? I'm gonna fucking take in a charity case. The government doesn't give me money for that kind of handicap. George can be found on the internet doing all kinds of podcasts, except they're not all kinds of podcasts. They're only two, and really, it's just one, because the other one, he's not doing it anymore. Because George has become disenfranchised. He doesn't want to go backstage to talk to the political elite. He's not interested. So what he's doing now is he's going downstairs to the basement to talk with his childhood buddies about being dads on his hit podcast, Just Us Dads.
What's going on, guys?
Really? Okay. Match the energy, George. Match the energy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Let's go.
Poseidon, what's Just Us Dads about?
Woo!
That'd be good for my allergies. Clear out my sinus congestion.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
Clear out my fucking septum. Just blow it out. Yeah, so George, you can check them out on Just Us Dads. They're currently launching their mini-series. What is it actually called?
It's the weight loss challenge.
Fuck me. I wish you hadn't tagged me. I'm so disappointed.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Oh, fat man getting less fat.
He's been losing weight.
George is
That's
looking
fine.
svelte as fuck. As you noticed, he's ditched the traditional black garb of the overweight dad bod.
I couldn't find it. I was looking all over the house for it. I was gonna. I
You have
wanted
one
to wear a
black
hoodie.
hoodie. You only have
Did
one
you
black hoodie.
mention,
two.
by
I
the
have
way,
like 8.
One of them doesn't fit.
did you mention patreon.com/Pantelis?
No, I wasn't done my intro.
Yo.
I was just
Okay.
I was just giving him a little in here so he could plug himself.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Butt plug himself, but he didn't. So patreon.com/Pantelis is where you can support all the content being made on this very channel and support Pantelis, I guess, since he is Pantelis Comedy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's doing his rodage right now, right? Is that true?
You're goddamn right.
You're goddamn right. He's rodaging hard. And never forget this Patreon, the Pantelis Comedy Patreon, which can be found on patreon.com/Pantelis, the most producing Patreon in existence. 297 episodes of fresh content a week. Some are pre-release, some are Patreon only. The morning show, we give to the world because it's our gift, right? And without further ado, let's get into the news, George.
That's
I
just
bet you
how
have
nice
like
we are.
12 stories today.
I have a few, yeah.
6 stories today.
But before that, I want to, and I
There's
was,
no stories
I was
today.
trying to remind myself, okay, don't forget, because I left my house this morning and I saw 3 people jogging, and then I come into Montreal on the way to pick up coffee. I saw another guy jogging, and I got to tell you guys one thing. For people like me who are completely discouraged to wake up in the morning and train, like I do train now, but I never understood the motivation that people have to wake up early in the morning and jog. And honestly, I envy them. I admire them.
I agree.
I love them.
Look,
Like I'm driving and I see them and I just want to applaud. I'm like, all right, good job, buddy.
get
Oh,
George
really? I want to run them over.
No, man.
No, runner, not cyclist. I have no issue with runners.
Runners
Yeah,
are on
you're
the
right,
side.
you're
They're doing
right.
their
They're
thing.
on the
Aside
They
from
don't
the
bother
fact
anyone.
that it's kind of a crazy thing that you're waking up early to run nowhere, Like, I mean, of all the exercises or regimens or sports or programs that I've ever come across, the only one that I see and I'm like, I wish that could be me is running.
Yeah.
Really?
There's something.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
I look at it and I go, I'm glad that's not me.
No, I just.
Which explains the way you look.
I'm so happy. You don't understand.
I haven't run for more than like 3 consecutive minutes in maybe a decade. Okay, like I have no reason to. Like sometimes I run up the stairs too fast and the world spins.
Oh, yeah.
Like
What do
woo.
you mean it's not that level? Let's not over exaggerate.
No, but I'm
You don't-
actually-
you don't
I'm-
have stairs.
like, I don't know these people.
You have
and
an
I'm
elevator.
actually proud of them.
No, but even when I take stairs in
I
general.
mean, I live on the 3rd floor. I do I counted them the other day. I do 37 steps every day to get home. Right? It's not a lot of steps, but it's that's the exercise I get.
Yeah.
But going back to the running thing for a second, George, bro, I saw a video of a man completing 100-mile run. So the guy didn't stop running for 100 miles. So
It's crazy.
It's like a crazy race.
That's
they
like
do.
6,000 kilometers.
What?
Fuck.
That's like
What are you talking about?
Malaka, that's like 140, 130 something kilometers.
No, it's more. What's a mile?
Guys, it's obviously not
It's
6.
times 1.6, I think.
1.6? It's
Yeah.
not 2 something?
1.6.
That's
Okay.
that's
1.62,
for
I think.
Kilos and
either
and
weight
pounds.
or distance.
No, kilos is 2.12 or something. I
Two,
think.
it's
2.12,
2.2.
2.2, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So 1.6 or what?
All right, guys.
I think it's
let's-
1.3.
let's-
Whatever it is. Yeah. Okay.
Let's please digress from this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I watched that entire video. Just watching it exhausted me.
Mm.
Like that was, bro, 100 miles, bro.
Honestly,
He ran 100 miles nonstop, bro. I don't think you understand.
I
Bro, I drive 100 miles and I'm tired.
I honestly, I'm proud of these people, and I don't even know them. And honestly, I drive by them and I see them
Sorry,
every
guys.
morning.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just on my end, but it says we're not live here.
No, we're live. It just
We are? Okay.
It's bugging. It's in and out. I don't know why. I don't
Oh, no.
understand
Okay. I'm
why.
not the only one. Some people are having issues. Okay.
Yeah.
It still says upcoming.
Oh, me, it's live. Yeah, it's
On your phone?
On my phone, it's live.
Okay,
yeah.
good. All right. No, I just wanted to make sure.
No, I
Yeah,
double checked.
okay.
It's just there's
On my
some
phone,
weird...
it's not there. So
Yeah, okay.
Oh, now it says waiting for Pantelis comedy again. That's fucking weird.
That's weird. I'm going to ask the chat if they can see us. In case they...
one guy says you're live. The other one says it's waiting.
It's bugging, but there's
Okay, so YouTube's bugging. It's not on our end.
YouTube's bugging.
Okay, now I see us. All right, I'm just making sure. I didn't want to...
Yeah,
Because normally...
it's back. It's back now. There's nothing, but there's nothing I can do about this.
Yeah.
This is
All right. Sorry about guys. No, I'm not...
this is YouTube. This is 100% out of my control.
Anyway, so like I was saying, I drive.
He
Drive in the
really
morning.
wanted to hammer home that it's not him.
Yeah,
Did you notice
yeah.
that?
He said it 50 times.
Like
we get
60
it, bro.
times.
Nobody's
Yeah, well, so
blaming
it's
you.
YouTube,
No, but
not
do you
me.
know that it's really not me though?
Put yourself in the gulag.
Anyway, so yeah, so I'm really happy for these guys because it's something that I wish I could have the motivation to do.
Last year when I tried to quit smoking,
Yeah.
and I failed, phenomenally failed. Like it was
still
like
smoking, right? Yeah.
Oh, yes, I am, sir.
Yes, I am.
sir, I am. On the first day of not smoking, like I started because I wanted to get to a point where I could run. Because one of my goals is because I can't run because I'm a smoker. Like it's disgusting. Like
Start by walking, man.
that's what I started doing. So I started a little too hard though. I started walking, not power walking, but like
speed, like a little fast,
a little faster than
fast-paced,
I'm comfortable walking at, and I would do 45 minutes straight.
Oh, nice.
By the third day,
Finished.
first of all, I've never had better sleep in my life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
passed out. And you'd think that walking, it's just walking. Like I walk everywhere. We walk all the time. But when you're walking at a specific pace, my heart rate would like go to like 120, 130, whatever. But like it was like boom, 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 boom. It's like you need to get that nicotine out of you. I was trying to pump it out of me. By the third day, though, the dopamine that I was
Pump
getting
it
from
up, pump it, jam.
Pump the jam, yeah. By the third day, the dopamine rush of the walk
Gorgeous.
wasn't enough to counteract the dopamine drop from the no cigarettes. Why are you dying?
Because George, I'm watching George run. Every time I say something, George is like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" I can't, bro. He's talking again.
No,
What do I do, bro?
No,
It's talking again.
yeah, it's talking again. No, so that's it. So
Oh, that thing speaks.
I was exchanging messages actually the other day with a friend, and he goes, "Bro, what's this weight loss thing?" He saw the videos. I'm like, "What do you mean, bro? You haven't been following the podcast."
I mean, nobody watches
Yeah?
the podcast.
So I explain to him what we're doing. And well, on this week's episode, we're announcing that we're extending it for another month. But in that month, we're doing like a parallel kind of challenge for anyone else that wants to join. So if you want for 1 month, you can join in, and there's a little something that we're gonna have for.
How do I apply? Because I don't want to do it by accident. Like, I just want to know. I want to know what to avoid.
Yeah, so stay tuned. It's this week's episode where all the details are there. You can send us a message if you want to join in on the fun. It's just building a little community of dads and
of
men
fat
and
dads.
just people that want to just.
You should call it just
What
fat
about
dads.
women?
just fast dad. Yeah, women too. We have a couple actually. That,
What about
Very
women, female identifying dads?
anyone is welcome?
Okay.
Anyone is
What
welcome.
about visible minorities?
No. We can't go down that road.
Are you crazy?
No.
What are you guys trying to get government funding or something?
So anyway,
That's a good one.
so I'm explaining to him what we're doing. He goes, "Oh, that's awesome, man." I go, well, "Why don't you join in, man? Come on." He goes, "Oh, dude, I need to lose weight." And I told him, I'm down like almost 25 pounds.
I know this
That's
guy.
amazing. Well, yeah, you do. It's
Oh, okay.
Josh.
Yeshua.
Yashua, yeah.
Yeshua's not big.
No, he's not big, but I
Guy's
guess he
thinner
gained
than me.
weight.
He's in great shape.
Yeah,
He's fucking
but
tricking
you.
you.
But you know what? He got married last year. That'll do it to you.
I haven't seen him in years. Yeah.
So anyway, so he goes, "Oh, cool, man." And so I told him a little bit what I'm doing and everything. And he goes, "Dude, maybe we should run." I go, "Whoa, bro, relax."
Like I can't. Like,
He goes, "Whoa."
well, you know my buddy Manny.
No.
Manny, I was working with. He was at Xenospace. Anyways, Manny's a big guy.
Okay.
And I keep seeing him posting, and only to close friends. Like he's in full like running gear in the winter months. I'm like, "Are you running?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "That's crazy." I've seen you like break a sweat and pull out a towel going to get a snack. Like he's like, "No, man, I gotta get healthy."
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, "Good for you, man."
So
So
he
he's like,
goes
"You should
to-
run with me." I'm like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, so that was my reflex. He goes, "Hey, maybe we should start running together." I'm
Fuck
like,
that.
"Dude, I don't think so. I don't think I could sustain a jog longer than like 3 minutes tops."
3 minutes. If I run for 3 minutes,
Like
we're
max.
going to the hospital. Like my heart's gonna explode. When I did the stress test last year and they put me on the treadmill, like 4 minutes in, she's like, "You doing good?" I'm like, "My vitals are crazy, right?" She's like, "No, everything seems stable." I go, "I feel like I'm gonna die." She goes, "You're just really out of shape." I'm like, "Oh." I go, "My heart's out of rhythm." She was like,
Everything's
"No, everything."
normal.
It's like
Yeah.
it's fast because you're running. And then she got to like the last stage, and I was like, "Do we have enough data?" She's like, "We do, but you should." I don't think I can do it. She goes, "You can't breathe." I go, "My legs, my legs were like dragging on the treadmill." I'm so out of shape, man. It's so bad. It's so bad. Are you apologizing to the people?
Well, yeah, I feel bad, bro, because YouTube keeps coming in and out. It goes from online. What? Like the stream, I mean.
Yeah, no, I had a dirty thought.
I get it.
get it.
Understandable.
Anyway.
And forgivable. It says sending data, and then it says online, then it says sending data again. Very frustrating. I don't know what to do about it because
There's not much we can do about it
Yeah.
besides keep doing the show.
I mean,
Worst
let's
case,
continue.
worst case, if they can't enjoy it live, it's gonna get
They'll watch
archived.
it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
guys,
they'll
but I
watch it.
I see people populating on Facebook.
All right, so you stay on the YouTube. I'll go to Facebook in case people are chatting to us
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
George, tell us about. I didn't want to bring it up, but I heard that the neoliberals, I mean the liberals,
Oh, but
are yes.
so before we continue,
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to go back to the walking,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
but I don't remember.
Killer
what I-
flow,
I
go.
don't remember what I wanted to say.
Running.
about
You
the
want to
walking.
run? You want to start running?
Oh
Or
no,
you
but
wanna-
you know that's how I lost 40 pounds. I would walk to Cafe Olympico and back every day. I would walk to Cafe Olympico, buy
Yeah.
coffee.
Why are you being manic? Why are you structuring your sentences? I walk to Cafe Olympico and back every day. I walk to Cafe Olympico.
It's just when I
That fucking bump you did
Let
before
the
is
guy
kicking
finish,
in.
bro. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, bro. I'm a fucking
you're a coke fiend.
I'm a skits, bro.
Okay,
Like a schizo.
I got it.
So I would walk. Fuck, I said that, but now I'm repeating myself.
Yeah,
because
okay.
you
You walk
interrupted
Cafe
me.
Olympico and back. Okay.
And
We-
back,
yeah, we got
it would
that
take
much.
what, about an hour? Let's say an hour where I would go have coffee.
This is in
chill.
Outremont, right?
Yeah.
Ultramont? No, it's on Saviator.
Oh no, in Outremont, in
He's talking about the quartier,
the district.
The
It's not
district.
Ultramont there.
It's not. Oh, it's my
It's
land.
not my land. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Oh,
Montreal.
that's my land.
It's not-
You're right.
Sorry,
You're right.
yeah.
It's
My
It is
land. My land.
Yeah.
I always get confused.
I don't think the people who are paying Ultramont taxes would appreciate that tone, George. As they look down on you from their giant home on the mountain.
So yeah, so you'd walk there every day, grab a
And I lost
coffee, and walk
40
back.
pounds. I'm gonna do the same thing again this year.
Do it, man. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
That was you. Hold on. So you stopped. Anyways, go on, George.
I
So
stopped
yeah, I
what?
heard that the liberals are democratically elected hegemons. Got
Are
in
sleeping in bed.
are talking behind closed doors, or were talking behind closed doors with the New Democratic Party, the People's Party,
Dun, dun, dun.
the party of the late great Jack Layton, and they've negotiated for our benefit
Always.
in the name of stability and getting things done. a backdoor deal
Backdoor.
to prevent a democratic election.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
But
Tell me more about it.
Wait, we'll talk about it. But before, because I've enjoyed the fact that the last 2 weeks we've started these podcasts in a little discussion, very nice, about families, kids, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start off in that same fashion. I want to bring up some news that came up, and maybe we can discuss it. And then we'll go. Obviously, we're going to talk about the NDP marriage with the Liberals.
This guy thinks he's in charge. Go ahead.
It's a bit
My
on a lighter
fucking
tone,
show,
let's just start with that.
All right.
News came out yesterday.
I don't know how anything could be lighter than what I just discussed. It's clearly not a big deal. Justin's doing it for us, but go on.
Yeah, exactly. So news came out yesterday that I think over the weekend there was a mom that was at the Eaton Center with her 5-month-old baby.
Here or in Toronto?
No, here.
We still have the Eaton Center.
Yeah,
It's still called that.
downtown. Isn't it called Eaton Center?
Oh, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know. I
it
thought
is.
it was something else.
No.
Okay, go on.
So anyways, so she was there and she stopped to breastfeed her child in the shopping center, and the security guard came and wanted to escort her to another room that they have that is specifically designed for breastfeeding, for moms that breastfeed. And she was shocked. She's like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "No, you have to leave from here. We have specifically designed rooms so you can have your privacy." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And it became this whole thing. She asked for.
Did he basically tell her, like, look, we have a place that's more comfortable for you. If you want to go there, that'd be great. I can show you, but you're good here?
No.
Or did
no.
he be like, hey, bitch, you can't be whipping out
Well,
titties at the mall?
I don't think he used that language, but he was adamant about her.
I was paraphrasing,
Yeah,
George.
he was adamant about her actually getting up, stopping the feeding process, getting
Oh my
dressed,
God.
putting the kid back. I don't know, in whatever she had carried, and to go to that room.
The suitcase, yeah.
So she asked for a supervisor. The supervisor comes, and the supervisor said the exact same thing. Like, no, we have specially designed space for you, which is
For your kind.
which is ridiculous because for those listening or watching,
Quebec has a
in
very
Quebec,
specific policy about breastfeeding.
you can, I mean, we have an open policy here in Quebec where you
You can feed
are
your baby
able-
anywhere you want.
You can, you're able to breastfeed wherever you want. And this has stirred up again this whole discussion about breastfeeding in public. I don't understand how in 2022 people are still bothered by it.
Look, when I was
I'm all for it.
when I was
Sometimes
when I
I
was at the
drop those
CLSC,
ones.
we actually because it was around the time when that not legislation, but those policies were made very front and center. We had a centre d'allaitement, where you could go if you wanted privacy.
Yeah.
But the official stance of all of Quebec is you can whip out your tit anywhere you want
Yeah.
if you need to feed a kid. You can't whip out your tit just because.
Yeah.
But if you're feeding a baby, no problem.
Exactly.
Do your thing. And we used to have a lot of issues at the CLSC. I remember when I used to work reception, especially in Park Extension,
Park X, yeah.
where you'd have Mr. Singh and he'd be like, "This is not okay." And I was like, it's completely okay. He goes, "Unacceptable, disrespectful." And I was like, "It's not disrespectful." Oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm like, dude, what are you freaking out about? It's a tit. You fed off one. We all did. Get over it. And they used to get very upset. And
crazy,
I'd even
though.
had women, veiled women, come and complain to me about it. I'm like, she's like, it's disgraceful. I'm like, go sit down.
But
Go sit down.
No, I don't
But people that
understand it.
complain about it, bro, sometimes you can't even tell. They cover up with blankets and shit, bro. Just let
But who cares?
Who cares,
Literally,
bro?
breasts have a single biological
she's-
function. That's it.
She's feeding her child, bro.
Yeah.
I don't understand. There's videos of cats and dogs feeding their babies. You know what I mean?
That's a weird analogy.
But they're still mammals, right? But it's somewhat
Look,
acceptable.
baby,
It's a nipple.
you and
it's
me,
nipples.
we ain't nothing but mammals. Let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
I'm a lizard.
He doesn't get the reference. He's too young.
Yeah.
The Bad Touch was a good song. Remember that?
Eh?
You and me,
Yeah.
baby.
You don't know that song?
Ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Get
Oh, but I
horny!
like the tune.
It was, what was their name?
The
Somebody in the chat save us. I don't remember their name. Not the Beastie Boys. I don't know why I
it's not
wanted.
the Beastie Boys.
And
It's,
honestly,
Bloodhound
if-
Gang.
If
The Bloodhound Gang, yeah.
If a woman breastfeeding her child turns you on, bro, there's the issues with you, not with her.
The issue is with your relationship with your mother.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's fucked up. I like how he got ahead of the conversation. I want to let everyone know that I think it's bad to be turned on about it.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's a little bit suspicious.
There's nothing wrong with a woman should be allowed to breastfeed anywhere she wants. The idea that someone went and tried to physically move her, like, it's ridiculous.
It is. And anyway,
he should be fired.
We should say that the eating center came out. I'm not sure if they formally apologized to, because what the mom was asking for, she's a nurse, the mom. So she was asking for an apology, a public apology.
Malade.
And she also asked for the eating center to make a donation to some breastfeeding association, whatever.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought of this now, and I'm changing subjects, but like I agree. She everything she's doing is right. I agree. I like that she's not suing. She's just like, you know what, you guys are dumb. Now you're gonna put your money where your stupidity is and donate to this whatever. 2 days ago, I sold my MacBook. Okay, the one I had, and you'll see where this is going. I live really close to the Centre de Naissance in Côte-des-Neiges.
Yeah, okay.
So the guy who came to buy it, he goes, you know, he's like, I don't know.
Oh my God.
What?
I just thought of something so vile.
Say it.
No, I'm not gonna.
No,
say
say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not going to speak again. No, I'm not going to speak again until he repeats it.
Bro, it's just a thought that popped into my head. I was like, I can never say this. So woman breastfeeding is okay, bro, but I feel.
What are you trying to say, bro?
He's just making hand gestures. No, don't speak. Don't speak.
He wants us to guess what he's trying to say.
Kill the flow of the show until he says it.
No.
It's okay. Go ahead. This is a safe space. There's only like a lot of people listening to it, and it's only on the internet forever.
You know,
so it's okay for a woman.
it's okay for a woman to
breastfeed?
No, it's not okay for a woman to breastfeed in public, but priests, feeding a different kind of milk to children is okay.
Worth it.
No, that's terrible.
So this guy comes. The
not
guy
even
comes
funny,
to my.
it's just-
He
it's
comes
just a
to my.
vile
I
thought.
didn't think it was gonna be funny. I just thought I wanted people to know how your mind works. That's what I wanted. So this guy shows up and he's like, you know, my son was born next door. The guy's in his 50s, French Canadian, maybe French actually. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%
In his
sure.
50s.
Late 40s, early 50s.
Okay, that's pretty advanced age.
Showed up on a bicycle.
Okay.
You know, he's like, I love riding my bike in this neighborhood. I'm like, yeah, we don't love having you, that kind of thing. So, anyways, this is how I thought of it because of the Centre de Naissance, right? And then out of the blue, like we've exchanged money. He has the MacBook. He's very excited. He asked me a few questions, and then he goes, "You like mushrooms?" I was like, "Sorry."
What kind of mushroom?
And he opens his backpack and he
No.
has like a Tupperware, about like a Rubbermaid about this big, like whatever. And he goes, I grow my own psychedelic mushrooms. Could I interest you in some? I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you. He's like, you want to smell them? I'm like, no, I don't want to smell them because you should smell them. I go, I'd really rather not. And he obviously goes, have a smell. I'm like, listen, leave my house. But like, how weird of a situation is that? That like, there's no story there. I just wanted to tell you that. Like, he's like, can I interest you? I'm like, no, you can't. He's like, have you ever had them before? I go, a very long time ago, one time, and that wasn't fine. I'm good. Not for me.
He's a friendly dude who's sharing his
I wasn't
produce.
I wasn't upset about it.
Yeah.
It's just it had this Mile End vibe about it. Like, man, I grow my own lemongrass. Would you like to try it? Except it'll make you see the fucking demons. Like, it's interesting that this guy is comfortable enough to be like, would you like to buy some of my illicit substances?
Complete stranger.
Can I interest you in
Yeah,
them?
exactly.
Like, it's fucking weird.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
Oh my goodness.
my goodness.
Oh my
so
goodness.
okay, so I'm glad we all agree on that. Breastfeeding, guys.
Yeah.
It's a totally normal thing, man. Did your wife breastfeed in public? I assume she did.
My wife had a hard time breastfeeding. We had
Okay.
issues, so she only breastfed a little bit at the beginning, as much as she could, and then like the stress of her delivery, like which I made a movie about. It was a really intense process,
Okay.
and then the nurses were being fucking stupid. Like they were just like yelling at her that she should breastfeed. She's like, I'm fucking trying. So they make it so much harder for women
Yeah, they're
because there's this stigma that you have to. I mean, if you can,
A lot,
absolutely.
yeah, and there's a lot
If
of
you can,
nurses
you
that
can.
force you. Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, Anna wanted to. It's just that we stayed in the hospital for like 6 days because Leia was breastfeeding, but there was she wasn't producing enough milk for her.
Yeah.
So like,
Which also is normal. I mean,
is
it
also
happens,
normal.
yeah.
Plus, they like because of the whole process of getting to an emergency C-section, her body was in shock, so she just wasn't producing milk, and the little one was losing like a pound a day. Like it was scary.
Yeah.
So she's like, "That's it. We're giving her formula.
Yeah,
I
for
can't
sure.
do this anymore." And I think that whole process like traumatized the little one about eating. She was a difficult eater, didn't want milk for months. Like we used to force feed her. I know I used to wake up with a little cup
With a spoon,
and feed her at night, and it was like chaos. I mean, she's still annoying with food, but now she's just kid annoying.
Yeah.
But whereas the second one is just like, she came out and she looked at me and she started trying to breastfeed off me. I'm like, kid, you're barking up the wrong tree right now.
That's not my job. Yeah, exactly.
And she's just like black little hairs in her mouth, like freaking out. Like, there's no fucking food here.
Wait, what? I mentally tuned in at the wrong moment.
No.
Little black curly hair.
What a shock.
Yeah.
My
Poor
wife-
kid, eh? You come into this world, you're like,
My wife once she was driving and she had to pull over the car to breastfeed. So she jumped in the back seat.
I thought you said she was going to be like driving up. I'm like, that's
Yeah, I
badass.
don't think so, yeah.
That's Colombian style, man.
So she pulled over and she was
We're getting shot
breastfeeding.
at.
She got a parking ticket. And obviously she didn't see the guy.
She was in the car and got a parking ticket?
She was in the car. The guy didn't see her. The windows were tinted in the back.
Oh,
So
okay.
the guy came, put a ticket, and she's like, "Oh no, I was breastfeeding my kid." And the guy goes, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It's too late now."
It's not too late. He can fucking stop.
I don't know. Whatever.
Piece of shit. Did she contest it?
I'm not sure.
I hope she did.
I don't know.
That's stupid. You can't get a parking ticket if you're in the car. Unless you're illegally stopped somewhere there's no parking.
Well, no, I think you could, because if your car is there and you're illegally parked, you get a ticket.
the
But
whole
if
point
you're there, the guy can tell you move your car.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't see you, I guess you can't really blame the guy.
Interesting. Was the car running?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Anyway. All right.
By the way, there's just so you know, because you drive in, you too, there are 2 spots right in front of the building that have no parking meters. Somebody, I think, plowed into the street. It looks like a car.
Oh, he knocked him down.
They're gone. So I've been parking there for like a week.
That's amazing.
So until they figure it out, free parking.
But as long as I've been coming here,
Dios
guys,
mío, he's freaking out.
Mon Dieu.
But as long as I've been
Sacre bleu.
But as long as I've been coming here, I've been paying the parking meter, and obviously we go past 2 hours that I'm here because I come a little earlier,
Look.
and I never renew it, and I've never gotten a ticket. So I don't know if they even
The
passed.
first year we were here, I parked without paying the meter every day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they clusterfucked me for like a week. I just got nailed with tickets.
Yeah. Here they're weird, man. Here they won't enforce it for the longest time, bro.
Also, he only passes at the exact same time every day. 11:45. If your meter is paid at 11:45, all the tickets I've ever gotten here are between 11:35 and 11:55.
That's fine.
I mean, right before, like, probably goes to Gentile. Right before lunch, he stops, gives some tickets, has a little sandwich.
Sandwich.
Yeah, a little sandwich.
But I was gonna say, because for the longest time, also I noticed people were parking willy nilly. Nobody was getting tickets. But then I saw one day,
Willy-nilly?
bro, for like 2 weeks straight, bro. This one guy in a van, bro, ticketed everyone. When I mean,
He sounded so Italian. There's one guy in a van, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, man.
He came in, he fucked the Fratellis, bro.
I was taking it.
Taking it in these
but yeah,
ass.
bro, tickets on tickets on tickets, bro. This
On
guy
tickets. Okay, let's do some news. I'm over this.
was day in day out.
I want to talk about JT.
All right, let's go,
I know
let's go.
Olga's really excited. She wants to hear
you
about
guys are
it.
so
JT?
excited about this.
Justin Trudeau.
So okay, before
Tu
we,
connais Justin Trudeau?
before we get into the discussion, let's
Premier Ministre.
let's just inform everyone who that may not know what's going on. So,
Sure.
So
Tell us in words that are your own.
Yeah. So yesterday, Justin Trudeau, it had leaked actually in the media, but whatever. We found out yesterday that Justin Trudeau, the Liberals and the NDP,
They let everyone know what a bang up job they were doing.
so they announced that they agreed to what's called a confidence and supply deal. It's not a coalition, but it's kind of like an agreement with both parties. Kind of agree to support each other all the way until 2025. Why 2025? Because technically that's when this mandate ends. So that's what happened. These are the facts. Okay. So now what people are saying, Justin Trudeau Justin Trudeau says, like, look, we were sent to govern in a minority government. The electors told us go back and figure out how to work with each other, and it's important for us to be able to do that. And we have to be able to put aside our differences and work for.
He means us with him. Like, we should put aside our differences.
The parliamentarians. Parliamentarians should put aside their differences and work together for
Suspicious.
for the best interest of the
Like
the
a
population.
bipartisan
Exactly.
Armistice.
So that's how he played it. The NDP, on the other hand, obviously they're fucking happy because it's the closest they'll ever get to getting anything passed. The closest they'll ever get to being in government. So Jagmeet Singh came out and said, it's amazing because through this collaboration, we'll be able to pass certain things that we've been advocating for years, like pharmacare and whatever it is that I'll check it out later. We'll get to the details.
Who cares? The only thing to me that stands out is the fact that they've created a system where the parliament can no longer confidently take the sitting government, the Liberals, into a non-confident vote situation. Because it's pointless. Yeah. It's as though he has a majority.
Yeah, but
he created a majority that he didn't have.
Yeah.
Because the NDP's platform, when they ran, was not the same as the Liberals.
No.
At all. I mean, it was very wildly different. But now, Jagmeet Singh has basically turned around and said, listen to all the NDP voters who have supported us for a long time. We hear you, but fuck you. We're going to do what we want. Because I like being in power. And maybe after this is all said and done with, maybe I'll be in charge.
If you're in the NDP, if you support...
If you're a Liberal, this shouldn't piss you off.
No.
If you're a member of the NDP, you should be fucking furious.
Look, there's pros and cons on either side. If you're like the way I see it, if you're supporting the NDP and you've been fighting for all these years to get pharmacare and dental care, across the country, this for you is an opportunity to actually get it done because you have an agreement with the government to be able to do that until the end of the mandate. So you're actually getting something done that's been in your platform for years.
But of course, you know what else has been in your platform for years?
Yeah.
Rooting out fucking liberal corruption.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That seems like it's higher on the list.
Yeah, of course. But see, suddenly we close our eyes to these things. They don't exist. We want to get our policies through, and if this is the way we're going to do it, then that's what we're going to do. Suddenly, everyone forgot how Jagmeet Singh used to treat Justin Trudeau, right, during the campaign.
Now they're best friends.
Yeah, now they're best friends. Now
I have a theory. You want to hear my theory? Yeah. It's wild, though. It's like conspiracy level theories. Jagmeet Singh isn't real. Have you noticed? You've never seen them shake hands at the same time. They're always they share a frame sometimes, but it could be camera trickery. I think
it's like Bruce
Justin.
Wayne and Batman.
No, it's Justin in disguise.
Wow.
Jagmeet Singh is Justin Trudeau in disguise. You heard it here first.
Well, have you ever seen them in the same room together?
Yeah.
Yes, but they never cross the center axis of the frame. Like when they shake hands, you know how Trudeau, no one shakes his hand, he puts it out and then they walk away? Yeah. It happens a lot. There's a lot of videos about it. That's true. So I think, maybe Justin Trudeau is Jagmeet Singh. Also, Jagmeet, make it simple for him because he could get confused if they weren't both J's. Anyway. Like if they called him like fucking Parvinder Singh, he'd be like, "Hi, I'm just Parvinder Singh." Parvinder Singh. Like he gets confused.
Oh my God, yeah, he's Super Singh.
What is Super Singh? That is something. That was like a meme music video from India a few years ago.
I don't know.
I'm gonna find that. It was like a Bollywood thing. Super Singh.
Anyway, now from the liberal perspective, it's very difficult for me to imagine how this makes sense because already there's a lot of more fiscal liberals that are already upset.
Can you call them neoliberals? Can you just call them that?
But
that's what they are.
Is that what it is?
They
Neoliberals?
really
Okay, so they're already upset with the party. Throughout this entire pandemic, we saw it at the beginning of the year with guys like Lightbound coming out and others. So I'm sure there's a lot of voices in the caucus that are against the party going left of center because that's where Justin Trudeau brought it, right? Ever since he's been to power.
As neoliberals do.
So I don't know how they feel right now. But on a strategic level, I mean, you got to give it to Justin. He's like, listen, man, we're going to be here until...
Shut the fuck up.
Look.
Come on.
Listen.
On a strategic level.
We're evaluating every aspect of this deal.
You know what you're doing?
Justin Trudeau wants to
you know what you're doing? You're an antelope going, did you see that fucking jaguar? Good for him. He killed my fucking buddies. Good for him.
No, listen.
I gotta give him credit. He's fast, bro.
He's fast, guys. No, listen. We have to. We're analyzing. We're analyzing the situation as objectively as possible, and I'll tell you after what I think. Okay, so
I mean, it's pretty objective to say that he's subverted his position, like he subverted the democratic process.
But, look, first of all, this is the first time this happens, and just to clarify something, this is not a coalition government because a coalition government would mean that members of the NDP would have to become ministers. They have to be in a ministerial cabinet in order for that to work. So that's not the case.
Which I could respect a little more because at least the NDP is not being a total bitch to the Liberals. This is all Jagmeet Singh and Justin Trudeau. That has nothing to do with the parties.
So look, this is just a collaboration, if you want, a cooperation of two parties in the House. So for Justin Trudeau, and I tweeted this a while ago, saying that I really doubt that Justin Trudeau is going to run in the next election. I think he's going to wait the rest of the year and then step down.
Why would he do that?
I don't think he has it in him to win another mandate, first of all, and I think that with the current leadership race that Conservatives are under, whether it's going to be Poilievre or Charest, or I don't think anyone else has any chance, so it's probably going to be one of those two. They're going to have a lot of momentum, both of those guys. Whichever one wins, I think the party's going to have a huge momentum. I don't see the Liberals.
So you think Justin will exit before he's removed, kind of thing?
I think at this point, it's better to end your political career by stepping down and saying, "Look, I did what I came to do, and I'm resigning," rather than than to end his political career with a defeat in an election.
But at the same time, how do you resign right now? Like, think of the state.
Well, it won't be right now. So I don't look. It's a minority government. It was elected in 2021. Traditionally, it's about a year and a half. So, by early 2023, normally one would expect elections. So, I don't know. I mean, I've been reading and listening to a bunch of analysts that are thinking that maybe Justin Trudeau, obviously this is done in terms of his communications, suggesting that we need to maintain this government until as close as possible to the end of the mandate, because that's what we were sent here to do. We just had an election. They sent us back in a minority situation. So we have to figure out how to work together. And that's how he explains it. I have a feeling, though, behind that, and a lot of analysts actually are arguing that maybe it's a strategy for Justin Trudeau to give the party more time. So say at the end of this year or early next year, he steps down as a leader. Okay. It gives the party enough time to go through a leadership campaign and not be damaged by, this newcomer coming in, whoever that new leader will be. So there's enough time all the way until 2024, 2025 for the party to kind of maintain some sort of lead going into those.
But I just don't see how you can, in good confidence, say, okay, I did what I came here to do. I left the country in shambles. I'm going to resign now. Like, stick around.
That's not what's going to happen. They're going to find all the positive things, and he's going to say, look, I came here. Look what we managed to do. They're going to find all the positive things. I mean, it's not the first time a leader of a party resigns, and that's what normally happens.
I know what he's going to say. He's going to say we managed to keep Canadians safe during a pandemic and during a
he's going to definitely use that as...
also, how old is Justin now? Like 45? 48?
I don't know.
You think he'll pull like a Daddy Trudeau and just stick around forever?
No, I don't think so.
No, I wonder. I think his ego is much more.
Look, here's what I think.
It's bigger than we give it credit for.
He's getting a lot of hate also, so I don't think he's going to want to stick around.
Maybe.
Well, it depends who you look into, because I speak to a lot. I know a lot of his supporters and a lot of members of his own riding association that obviously they're obsessed with him. I have a feeling that when Justin leaves,
Poseidon.
well, look, guys, like it or hate it. I mean, he has supporters. I mean, obviously he's there. I have, the way I see it is that when this guy decides to resign, that party is going to have a big issue finding a leader that is at the caliber of Justin Trudeau, at the caliber from the point of view of the Liberal supporters, right? So
a name, a big name. Yeah. Who do they even have right now?
Look, obviously, Chrystia Freeland is probably going to be in the race. I think Philippe François Champagne is probably going to be there. Maybe Mark Carney is going to jump in the race. Who knows?
But those are tough shoes to fill, bro. You gotta learn how to fall downstairs. You gotta buy shoe polish constantly.
Jokes aside, objectively, like Trudeau is a big seat to fill.
Guys, listen,
I get that for the Liberals.
He completely transformed, whether you like him or hate him, he completely transformed the brand, the Liberal brand, which was in shambles after Jean Chrétien left with the scandals, and then Paul Martin didn't do a very good job, and then they had two consecutive defeats with
Paul Martin. I forgot he was in charge.
And Ignatieff, remember, that was disastrous.
Ignatieff was bad marketing because no one knew how to read his name. Like, no one's going to elect a prime minister.
Yeah.
Someone wrote something funny.
Yeah, what?
Well, to me. Good news is, if we continue down this path, maybe we can get refugee status in the USA.
Maybe.
Now, here's what I think about this whole thing. I share your opinion, Phil, that this is completely irresponsible. I think opposition parties have a huge role to play. And a lot of people don't see that. They think that, you're in parliament because you need to be in government. That's not it. The opposition parties in parliament have a very important role. It's crucial. And that role is to keep the government in check constantly.
And the Jagmeet Singh party, has done a terrible job at that. They've checked nothing.
Yeah,
Except for when they wanted to just like be loud.
I mean, given the situation right now, it's very difficult for them to do that because, I mean, there's like, 4 parties now? How many? Yeah, there's 4 parties in opposition. So it's not easy, right?
I mean, you can't even consider some of them in opposition. Like the Conservatives and the NDP are fine. They're an opposition party. I mean, officially, the Green Party is...
No, but you have the Bloc Québécois, so there's 5 parties.
What is the Bloc oppose? The Bloc opposes everything.
Well, the Bloc is... Look, he's not...
They just block.
He's doing a not bad job, François Blanchet, because he's there to defend the interests of Quebecers. But still, it's an opposition party that isn't negligible. I mean, the guy, I don't know, he has 20-some or close to 30, 20-some MPs?
I don't remember.
So, I mean, it's not negligible. In any case... so I find that kind of irresponsible for an opposition party to drop those responsibilities that you have and to do this sort of thing. And not only that, to agree in advance to things that you don't even know yet.
Yeah.
How do you say,
but like,
I'm with you until 2025?
How binding is their agreement? Do they have like some kind of contract?
I'm sure there is. So apparently from what I read, this has been in discussion since late last year. This is not new. This just didn't happen. So this has been ever since they got elected, or like since December or January. It's been an ongoing discussion on how to do this, on how to come up with an agreement. So what this means basically is that the NDP guarantees, it's a big word, but...
That's what I want to know. What does that mean, guarantees?
Look, I don't know how long this will last. I mean, 2025 is pretty far from now, which means that the NDP... gives the green light to give kind of like a confidence vote to the Liberals in all sorts of issues whenever they need it, whenever they need the support in the House.
So let's say it
to
comes
support
out tomorrow,
the Liberals, to support the
hypothetically.
Liberals with their budget. So all the budgets that are going to come now.
Hypothetically, the new budget says here is a personal fund for Justin Trudeau. We're just going to give him some cash.
Well, that's the thing.
They have to vote for it now. Like, I don't understand.
Unless they say, no, we don't agree anymore, and then the agreement, I mean, it's
but
not...
like, what's the ramifications
Yeah,
of
look,
what's the breach of the agreement?
Well, it's not written in stone. I mean, at any point in time, and that's what Jogging came out and said. It goes, listen...
I don't understand why they announced this. It feels like the kind of thing you do and you don't say anything.
They just said, look, we're here. We want to get our agenda through as NDP, and in exchange, we're going to support the government in its decisions. We're going to be there. We're going to be the confidence they need in the House to pass whatever motion.
I wonder how much of this is...
And we're going to be supporting their budgets. But for me, it's like, how do you even know what's going to appear? And the first question that came up was, okay, well, all the what do you call it? The green policy and to end the pipelines and all that stuff, that the Liberal Party is kind of trying to do it progressively, which is completely opposed to what the NDP wants to do, is like just cancel them altogether. So they're like, well, what if in the
Because that's a real plan.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But they're asking, look, what if in the next budget there's funding in there to keep supporting this kind of, this industry? What are you going to do? You're going to support it?
Well, have the Liberals... They've laid out a plan once, right? Like this, like over.
It's
like
going to be progressive, yeah.
But I mean, it would have to be progressive. You can't just kill a whole industry. There's consequences.
But the NDP was against that, so that was the first question that came up. So in any case, I just find it strange on how you can agree to something beforehand without even seeing it. So it's like you telling me, give me $50,000 and I'll provide you with a service that you're gonna love.
Which service? A service.
I don't know.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. Don't worry. So that for me is a little, Anyway, this obviously puts the Conservatives in a tough spot because there's a balance of power now, right? In the Parliament, like automatically the Liberals have gained that support in the House, and the Conservatives can do nothing about it. Like
nothing.
There's nothing they can do now. So anyway. It's cool. It's cool. I mean, for someone that follows politics, something happening like this is interesting. I mean, because you don't see this. I mean, this is the first time I see this happening. So it's like, interesting. Okay, what's going to happen now? Like there's all these interesting things that come up in my mind. It's like, let's see how things develop. Hey?
Who hurt you?
Nobody's hurting me.
Like the idea that you would watch something like this play out and be like, how interesting.
Yeah,
fucked. You realize that you're mind fucked, right?
I don't know.
If this was happening,
there's no way I'm the only one that finds these developments.
If this was
interesting.
happening in fucking Zimbabwe, and you as a Canadian citizen were like, interesting. I have no vested interest here. Let's see how this plays out.
Right.
Fine, but this is happening here. It has a direct consequence, like on your business, on your livelihood, on your life. Our government is acting belligerently.
Look, there's because. we see this differently.
That's objective,
Very
man.
roguelike.
That's
No,
objective.
Kind of completely rogue, our government.
It's not that look, guys. I disagree with it. I said it. I don't agree with this at all. Just because, in my mind, the parliament needs to function the way a parliament should function. There should always be this constant.
There's checks and balances, right? You can't just set up a deal where there's no check, and you're the balance.
I know, but I'm saying it from I don't know, from like a political kind of perspective.
I understand what you're saying,
It's
but
interesting,
the
like,
fact that it
okay,
has a
cool.
consequence on your life makes it not interesting anymore.
But look, the consequences that it has on my life, obviously,
are unclear. Is that what you're going to say?
No, it's not unclear. Obviously, it's going to cost a shitload of money to implement free pharmacare and free dental care. It's a lot.
When was the last time we even had dental care? That was fucking.
We never.
No,
had
we did
that.
at one point in the late '80s. I think we did.
Like all dental care was.
I think so.
In the 80s, like under a conservative government.
In Quebec, Medicare at one point covered dental. Not for very long, and it wasn't 100%, obviously, but there was some coverage. And I know kids still have coverage, right?
Yeah, of course. So here's the thing now. So I'm just looking at it from like this political analyst position. Where it's like, okay, let's see what
You are a bit of an analyst.
So yeah, in terms of money wise, yeah. I mean, in
terms of money, we have none.
I'm like, we
have no money.
We don't have money. I mean, Justin Trudeau has taken the budget and he's kind of ripped it up. He's like, "There's no budget. We'll do whatever the fuck we
just print
want."
new
You know
money
what I mean?
when we need it, yeah.
So this is disastrous, I think, for the economy. But on a more social level, I mean, people that need it, how can you tell them this is a bad thing? Oh, look, we're gonna have pharmacare and we're gonna have free dental. I mean. Yeah, but on
also,
a societal level, it's a good thing.
Well, no, hold on.
On an economic level, it's horrible.
No, but also, even societally wise, down the line, it's not beneficial if, like look at Cuba, bro.
That's a weird example. But socially, as you're saying, that it makes sense. Okay, so sure. Jean Martin, who lives in Tadoussac, who has a heart condition and he has no insurance because he lost his job, he now can get his heart medication. That's great. But that same guy now has, because he lives out in the regions, he now has to pay, I don't know, $8 for a fucking bag of toast. And take that and exponentially include it to cover all pricing. He now has his heart medication, but he can't afford to fucking eat.
Yeah. So
And he's being taxed at 75%.
So
no, he's not, because he's broke. So he's getting taxed at like 30%, but still.
So look, the other big question mark in this situation is how is this going to be implemented when across Canada
We broke.
all these issues are of provincial jurisdiction?
That's a whole other conversation.
So, and not only that, every single province is frustrated with the federal government because they've been all asking for transfers for their health system, right? Especially Quebec and Ontario. And instead of doing that directly to the province, say, here, take this money and take care of your hospitals or whatever. They're putting that money in implementing policies that, first of all, don't even fall into your jurisdiction. So it's weird for me.
I wonder what dentists are saying about all this. I'd love to see what the dental associations feel, because they're not going to like this.
Well,
they're going to get standardized.
One
now.
in five disagree.
He just threw
I
that out
know.
of his
I
ass.
know the joke he's making. It's not funny. He enjoyed it. He's happy. That's
Well,
fine.
look, I don't know how that's going to affect him. I mean,
No, but think
even
about it,
now,
because
if you're
it's
on welfare,
standardized.
look, if you're on welfare now, it's covered, right? And all these dentists, they get welfare people, so they get subsidized. The government just pays them, right? So it's probably going to be the same thing. They're just going to get the money. So I don't think they care. So this is the big news of the week. Justin Trudeau just came out and gave it to the Conservatives. Like, yeah, okay, you have a leadership race. Figured out. Hey, by the way,
Just meet.
Parliament is functioning again. Haha, no opposition. It's like a fake majority.
What are
that
the
he went
Conservatives saying? Have they said anything publicly
The
yet?
Conservatives are coming out. Obviously, they're painting everything. Look at these socialists. Look at it's
Power
like,
grab.
It's like this ideological play on words, right? Especially from Poilievre. So it's like, we've been saying this forever. These socialists, they're no liberals. I mean, they've been in bed since I don't know, God knows when.
He's not wrong, though.
He's not wrong
I mean,
at all.
he's semantically playing with it, but he's not wrong.
Yeah. So there you have it. So that's what's happening with the libs and the NDP.
The libbies. What other kind of news you got?
Let me get up here.
George, this is a professional fucking
There's no
outfit here. What's going on?
Eh?
This is a professional fucking setup.
Why aren't you
Look, there
fucking
are
prepared?
microphones in front of us.
Right. All right. So, big day in Quebec yesterday. The government tabled their annual budget.
Oh, I heard about this. I'm very excited.
It's a purely electoralist budget. I mean, we're heading into elections.
I know. You get $500. You get $500.
Everyone that
You know what?
making
You know what
it-
Legault's doing right now? Okay, hypothetically, me and you, right? You asked me to borrow $500. I'm like, here.
Yeah.
You can have $500. 4 years go by. I was like, bro, am I ever gonna get that $500 back? You're like, bro, I wasn't borrowing it. That was my money. And I was like, all right. Then you need me for something. You're like, bro, I need you to support me on this, but let me toss you 500 bones. I was like, don't you owe me $500? No, this is a gift. That's what's happening.
Which, by the way, we're paying for it.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Everyone who's excited about this either doesn't understand math, or is so stupid.
By the way, in Quebec, because we were talking about dental stuff, most of everything that's urgent is 100% covered. So
Yeah, because you can just go to a hospital to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
They have dental.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have a cyst or whatever, or you have like a root canal, stuff like that, all of that is actually covered, and you don't actually have to pay for it.
But if you want to do like basic cleanings, like
Basic
regular
cleaning.
checkups, that stuff. Ooh, when's my dentist appointment? I gotta check.
Yeah,
I think it's today.
Basic cleanings, regular checkups.
No, it's not. We're
Cavities,
good.
I think, aren't covered. Cavities, whitening isn't covered. Stuff like that. So stuff that are more like, but I think cavities should be covered if you're not insured, because we pay into a healthcare system, because it's still something that, like, it's not as bad as a root canal.
Fucking socialist Poseidon over here, right?
Well, not really. So no, but I mean, no, hold on. You misunderstand me. Since we're already paying for all,
I wasn't
these
judging him. I just made an observation. Yeah.
Since we're already paying for all these taxes, I mean, might as well throw in fucking cavities. You know what I mean?
Sure. Okay.
I would argue that fuck it, you privatize everything, but we're already here.
It's odd to me sometimes when he expresses an opinion and he tries to articulate it. It's like he spent his whole life never really thinking about any of these things. And then suddenly, when you're in high school? No, sorry, you're in college. You just started university or SAGEP, let's say. And you're having these like, what feels to you like these deep fucking socio-philosophical conversations about politics.
Yeah.
And then you think back to those conversations, you're like, we were retarded.
Yeah.
Like, because we were just discovering the world for the first time, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it's the first time I'm talking.
Like,
about
I remember
this,
sitting with buddies, like, and they're like reading, like, at this weird fucking hangout in the Mile End. We're all like stoned, and he's like reading chapters from Marx's, like, and I was like, whoa, man, we're gonna control the means of production. And I think back to that, I was like, what the fuck were we doing?
I've been down these conversations so
Yeah,
many
me too.
times because we've all been there. Like I had Che Guevara's poster up and all the
I remember you when you were
I'm
Che
not-
Guevara
I
guy.
don't believe in any of those.
Because the thing is, let's agree on one thing.
Hold on, bro. You're mistaking
The
me for a
biggest-
communist, bro. That's very offensive.
No, you
No,
do
no,
this, you do
it's-
this all the time. You get trapped by labels and I'm not communist. I'm
it
not
was so
socialist.
easy-
Fuck
it
Che
was-
Guevara.
And it was so easy to fall into a trap because obviously you're young, you don't have any experience in life.
The world
and-
hasn't broken you in yet.
Yeah, exactly. And what the biggest proportion of academia is to the left. So all your
course.
professors are fucking stuffing shit in your brain on a daily basis, and you fall into the trap. You're like, oh yeah.
I mean, look,
Also, I take back what I just said because Joker's Magnet said apparently you have to wait a really long time for said services. So
Oh, for sure.
Years.
That's not
I love how quickly he retracts a statement based on a statement that has no backup, which I'm not disagreeing. Joker's probably right.
Oh,
But
no.
I'm just saying, like, I retract every opinion I had thus far.
No, not every opinion.
No, I know. But, I mean, like, I used to get into these, like, long conversations with people. And, like, I mean, in Marx's work, I haven't read every bit of it, but
But the mistake people make is that
Marxism and communism are not the same thing.
But
like,
here's the
first and
thing.
foremost.
The biggest mistake is that people reading this literature forget to put it into context. So when this thing
Which
came
Marx was famously bad at, putting things into context.
No, but at the time when he wrote that, maybe it made sense, right? In the middle of the
No,
Industrial Revolution,
of course,
nobody had
yeah.
any rights. I mean, people were
Like,
exploited.
people were being, like, dying in the factories and their bodies were being
Yeah,
thrown
yeah.
into vats of production. Yeah, I get it. Like, but there is merit in some of his ideas if you can apply modern context, like contemporary context to them. But, like, communism is a whole other fucking bag of tricks. Like, that's something else. Even socialism, it has its merits. Like, there are parts of the socialist structure that I agree with 100%. My problem always comes back to the same problem. Socialism doesn't take into account two things. That we still have a capitalist society that functions on money. So where's this money coming from?
Yeah.
And who's paying for it? Two, it also doesn't take into the fact that every political system requires people. And we are famously corrupt We cannot be trusted. And it's hard to really predict what we're going to do. Sometimes. Most of the time it's obvious because we're going to be corrupt. Like, all of these systems exist in a vacuum without people. Once you throw people into the mix, you need more checks and balances. But what happens when you get more checks and balances? You inflate the government and the public sector. And what happens when that happens? Taxes go up. Where do we get when that happens? More inflation because we can't cover what we need to cover. And here we are. So is this the best system we have to date? Yes. Does it mean we need to stop trying to fucking build a better system? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So, like, anyone who takes, like, a fucking hardline dig in, even people are like, no, fuck it, capitalism is the best we've ever had. Maybe. Doesn't mean that's all we should be worrying about. Like, I don't know. Even, like, the idea of, like, smaller, not the libertarian model, but, like, more like the Barbers of Seville, these, like, co-ops. Like, that's an interesting model that can be applied on a smaller scale. Like, I'm not going to get into
Like
it.
every municipality type of shit.
Not exactly, but the second you start to centralize any kind of administrative power, things get inflated quickly. Like,
But then you also kind of separate everyone, no? You're creating
well, no. What do you mean?
you're creating what's the word I'm looking for? Like the barbarians had
Don't apply old concepts to a modern ideology. Like,
I
that's not
understand,
going to
but
work.
You're kind of separating everyone, not into camps, but in
No, I'm not talking about building tribal, like, fiefdoms.
tribes,
I just mean, like,
But that's what it'll become.
no, because there's still like it's a weird model to even explain. Like, I don't even fully understand it because of the way that our government is set up and what I've grown up understanding to be how a government functions. But, like, I'm not talking about getting rid of the federal government. I'm talking about taking away a lot of its power and giving it back to the provinces or to municipalities.
But if you think of
We
it,
have those things anyways,
Yeah.
right?
See, that's what I was going to say.
Canada was actually on the right track in terms of how much power the provinces had. But then a lot of power was centralized to the federal government also through money, through funding.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Right?
that's one stronghold that they have. But I mean, they're the ones that collect this fund. So I mean,
I
how
understand
do you know
that.
what I mean,
I understand that.
So, but
No, I mean, like, we started off strong.
Yeah,
It seemed.
because if you think of it, the provinces do have a lot of jurisdiction.
They do.
over,
But maybe they should have less too, and more of that should be on a municipal level. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's the right answer. I'm saying maybe. Let's I'm not right now, but maybe it's something that should be discussed and explored.
Yeah.
But again, once you put power anywhere, there's corruption.
Yeah,
So-
I agree.
And the second, so long as we don't have direct democracy where we can vote on more or less everything quickly, efficiently, and easily, I mean, then we have a problem because we're electing representatives still, right? We should be allowed to, like, at this point in technology, we have the capabilities, especially with blockchain. In the next 10 years, if we're not even talking about it, we're down the wrong hole. Today, it's too soon. We could vote for everything. Like, if anything needs to pass, you can be updated. You can get on any of your devices what they're talking about. Okay, there's a public debate in the House, and then we all get to vote. If why should they be passing laws? We could be passing laws together. It's not a complex procedure.
No.
When all of us are involved.
Right.
Is it easy? Does it present new challenges? Does it present new avenues for corruption and for infiltrating the system? Yes. Does that mean we shouldn't explore it? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because what we have isn't working great right now. Like, inflation hasn't been this high since I've been alive.
Yeah.
Like, I can't buy a house. And I'm not like, I make okay money. We both do. As a household, we're fine. And we can't buy a house.
That is a very serious issue, though. And I was listening to a speech that Poiliev gave. I can't remember where he was. And again, I'm not for or against him. I don't have a horse in that race. But I found it interesting
Got
that
many a whore in that race.
his speech, and I think he was talking to university students, and he was explaining how he has a friend.
I have this friend.
Yeah, no, he has a friend who's Italian, and his parents immigrated. And in the 70s, they
I
managed
like
to
that
buy
he's
a
showing
house.
that he has more than just white people friends. I like that. Yeah,
but
I know an Italian guy.
Yeah. But no, the concept was interesting what he was saying, and it's factual. It's the reality we live in, where they were able to blue collar workers managed to save up some money and buy a house in the 70s.
You've seen the memes, right? Right, like a house cost $20,000 in 1980. A minimum wage was like whatever. And then you see the exponential increase, and minimum wage has like gone up this much. Average household income has gone up this much, because it's not always minimum wage that we should be using as a metric. But houses have gone up this much, or food has gone up this much.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
proportional.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I got stuck.
So the point that I was making is that they came here. They knew they didn't have any knowledge of the languages. They had very little education, yet they were able to purchase property. And today, their grandkids...
And build wealth.
And build wealth, yeah. And today, their grandkids who have a crazy amount of education compared to their parents can't even dream of having what they bought. It's not even.
I was talking with Pants about it once. He's like, remember when we were kids and he used to tell us you need to put aside 10 grand for a down payment on a house? And I was like, yeah. Like in high school, in like home ec, they would, you need $10,000. We're like, whoa, $10,000. How are we going to come up with $10,000, man? Fuck $10,000. What am I going to do with $10,000? I just dropped more than half of that on a laptop. Like, so I can fucking work. Like, it's $10,000.
Anyway, back to
So in the 80s, the average yearly salary was about 20 grand.
Yeah.
And how much was
But you have to also
the median family income was 30,000. Sorry, 30,000.
Sure, but you also have to convert that dollar for dollar to what that would be valued at today, right? You can't just look at straight numbers because
yeah, obviously the 30 grand value wise,
not just with inflation, but with the increase of cost of living. I don't really know how to do it. Like I would just find someone who has.
We're just trying to see the.
No, but $1 yesterday and $1 today is not worth the same thing, right?
Exactly.
I understand, but we're just looking at the 80s.
Yeah, but you can't take into consideration the $30,000.
$1 million in the 1980s.
Like the $30,000 in the 80s is probably what, I don't know, I'll say 60 grand.
No, more.
More?
I would say it's probably like 85.
An average house was
He still doesn't understand.
$100,000, 96,200.
Can someone in the chat do this because he clearly can't?
Wait,
I don't have the math for inflation and shit.
No, fuck the inflation. Type equivalent of $30,000 in.
He's not gonna. What are you doing?
Okay.
You want him to glitch out. He's gonna bleed from his nose.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a complicated, I guess, calculation.
Yeah, it is complicated.
Back to the budget. It's an electoralist budget. I mean, this is what we used to call candies. When I was doing, it's like, okay, let's give candies now. It's an election year. Let's give out candies. So everyone that is making under 100 grand.
Oh, I found it.
Oh shit! Yeah, go ahead. Let's see if he did find
$82,400.
Is the equivalent of 30,
speak a whole sentence.
The equivalent of the $30,000
In the 1980s?
in the 1980s to today is $82,400.
We were in the middle. Yeah, we were both close.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that means.
So that's the average household income. Now tell me what the average household income is in Quebec right now, or in Canada, whatever you're looking at.
I'm looking at the U.S.
Whatever.
Household income. U.S. 2021, let's say, 79,900.
Okay.
So it stayed exactly the same as the 80s. If anything, went down actually.
Except if you look at the proportional increase, including that value, which is a much more complicated equation to do on the fly, of what things cost, the cost of living, the cost of buying a home, and also factor in the fact that we have new expenses that our parents' generation did not have, like especially and specifically telecommunications.
Yeah.
Which
Cars.
is easily
You know how many friends I have that didn't own a car? Now,
Really?
yeah.
I didn't have any friends who didn't have cars.
Yeah. Now we have 2, 3 per household. Who had two cars back in the 80s in one household?
Yeah.
You were rich.
Was I? I didn't feel fucking rich.
No, but bro, cars were cheap back then, bro. Like a luxury car was
we didn't have. My parents needed
Again,
two
bro,
vehicles.
8 grand back in the 80s isn't 8 grand today, though.
But a luxury car, so by today's standards, let's say in the 80s, 8 grand, 816, it was what, 20 grand?
I had, look, off the top of my head,
a luxury car, bro. A luxury car nowadays, you're looking at minimum 55 grand.
Off the top of my head right now, I had 1, 2, 4 friends that had no car.
They lived in Park X.
Yeah.
They worked in Park X, the parents.
I'm not sure if were they. No, they didn't. No.
My parents, my dad had a business. Like he was on the road, so he needed a car, and my mom had to get to work. So like they both had cars.
Yeah.
I got my first car when I was like, I want to say 18. I bought like my mom's cousin's like 1990 Honda Civic for like $500 bucks.
It seems to be the standard.
Yeah.
That's what I paid for my first car.
Because they were going to get rid of it.
My father's
yeah,
friend.
$500. And like the thing was a fucking death trap.
Oh, sorry. By the way, I made a.
It didn't have power steering.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I made a terrible mistake. $30,000 in 1980 in today's money is $103,000.
Yeah.
There you go. So the average has come down. I knew he was wrong. I didn't want to jump in because I didn't have the data. It didn't sound right.
100 grand, yeah.
And 100 grand. The average cost of a house back then was 100,000. Let's say. That's
In the 80s?
Yeah, in the
No,
80s.
it wasn't.
No, much less.
Much less,
I
like
Googled.
50.
Less.
I mean, yeah, the average home was probably like 50 grand.
That's $172,000 in today's money.
There you go. So there's
If-
your
if-
giant discrepancy because the average cost of a house right now in the island of
It's
Montreal
800,000.
is 699,000. That's the average.
No, it
average.
went up.
The average went up again. I looked at it yesterday.
In
Yeah, no, we
Montreal-
spoke about
Montreal-
it.
hold
We
on,
spoke
in-
about it last episode.
I'm talking
It's
about Canada.
over 800 grand.
Yeah, I'm talking about Canada.
That's the average.
Yeah, it's over
Christ.
800 grand.
860. I think I said it last episode.
Or
Yeah.
last I checked, it was 844
That's nuts.
something.
That is fucking
it's
nuts.
ridiculous. Anyway,
That's
so,
insane, bro.
So and then you have the government coming on and saying, "Yeah, okay, we're going to give you $500." It's like, what planet do you live in where you think $500 is going to make a difference to anyone's life? You know what I mean? So this is going to be in the form of a tax credit for anyone that files for 2021. In any case, look. I'm not going to go through the details. I mean, it's nothing spectacular.
They're giving us all a $500 kickback.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna.
They think their same system that they use with like the SNC lava lens and stuff, they can just throw some cash. It'll work, but it won't.
Yeah, some other highlights. They're adding close to $9 billion over 5 years for the health system, which I don't think is enough.
$9 billion just sounds like a fake number, doesn't it? Like a
how much?
bullshit made up number.
$9 billion.
$9 billion.
$9 billion. Like, yeah, okay, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
Where are you getting it from?
So yeah, they're basically the three sectors that they're throwing in money is obviously health, education, and the environment.
Ooh, I like throwing money in the environment.
Yeah. So
We
anyway,
have like solar farms and shit here,
do we have solar farms? I think we do.
like provincially regulated, like run by the government.
Oh no, I don't think so.
No, why not? Do we not have enough sun?
I know we have
We have hydropower.
yeah.
I know we have some wind power too now. Interesting. I was reading a whole article yesterday about how Europe's trying to implement solar farms, and the Greek government's like, we don't have flat land, and they're like, yeah, but we can put them on the islands. He's like, what are you talking about? Like it was interesting.
Because the islands are flat.
They're not at all. They're rocky
Exactly.
outcrops. He's like, we don't have like flat, unusable, arid land. Like, because Greece has a lot of sunshine compared to the rest of Europe. They're like, where would we put them? And they're like, put them in the mountains. They're like, who's going to maintain them up there? It was just interesting how like short-sighted the suggestions were.
You should put them on the ocean, man. Just flat. Reserve a.
What about those poor fish who need sunlight and phytoplankton to grow and need all the solar?
They're gonna go around. I don't know.
They're going to go around. I like it. And all the ships that are crossing the Mediterranean,
Well, you're
all
not
the
gonna put-
fucking wind.
You're not gonna put them in the middle of their of the ship's passage, man.
That was...
Actually,
wow.
no,
Greece
he's
could
right.
play a role if there's any
There's
country.
shipping routes, and they have to respect them.
What?
There's shipping routes, and they have to respect them.
Of
Yeah,
course. But also, like, how do you store that much energy? I don't think we have the technology to store it efficiently. That's the real issue with solar. That's the real issue with all of our alternate energy sources. We can't store them efficiently. It's too expensive, and the chemicals used to make those batteries are way worse than petroleum.
exactly.
So we need to find a better way to do it.
Let me talk to you guys about another big issue, right? That happened at the in
George
Parliament.
setting up a joke. I see it in his face.
no, this is a big one, guys.
Tell me, George.
In
Dime.
Ottawa, the issue of the week: the fact that conservatives are going into the house with no mask. I mean,
Oh, for fuck's sake!
come on, man. This is
Here's my
this is an actual concern.
Here's my question.
Why are the conservatives across not wearing masks?
Why are the conservatives across not wearing masks?
First of all, because it's in Ontario, and Ontario dropped. There's no more masks.
Wait,
right?
final.
There's
I'm
no-
done.
And we found out that masks don't work.
No, forget. I'm looking at a legal thing
Yeah.
here.
I see.
So
But-
Ontario no longer has a mask mandate?
Yeah,
Okay.
but because the parliament kind of functions separately from the provincial.
Does the parliament have a mask mandate in effect?
Nope. As of Monday, it's dropped. So it's basically.
So then what's the problem?
There's no problem.
So
So.
tell us, shut the fuck up, Jag Singh.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up. They're following your rules, you stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah. So I just
all these people.
at this point I think it's just a farce. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, man. I mean, especially
F1.
Especially Justin Trudeau, man. I mean, you see this guy going everywhere, taking pictures, meetings, shaking hands, and then in other official portions or whatever, they put the mask on. Who are you trying to fool, man?
Did you see that he did like a press conference or something, and he was with two other leaders on stage talking in a podium, on a podium.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they finished speaking, the other two just walked off, and he was there like with a stupid grin on his face, mask, put it on, take his time, and then walked off. We were
It's-
like, what the fuck are you doing,
It's
bro?
all theatrics, man.
What the fuck are you doing?
The mask, I'm not going to get into the science behind the mask because
It does not work, bro.
I'm not going to make any grandiose
It's-
statements because I'm not a fucking
I'm gonna make
scientist.
them because
Of course you
it's
are,
come
because
out.
you're
No,
Poseidon.
Absolutely not, because I've done my research, bro. It's in the air. Does the mask keep you from breathing?
Hello?
Does it filter your
You
air? Or some
stupid
shit?
son of a bitch. I didn't say I agree or disagree. I said I'm not going to get into it. It's not my place.
Okay.
Okay? Me and you are going to sit here now. You with what? Half a GED and me with a film background. We're going to discuss the fucking science of how aerosolized bacterium fly. I actually don't know what you have. That's why.
What's a GED?
I knew that the question.
I'm just saying, like, we're not healthcare professionals, so I'm not
that a
gonna.
high
We're not
school diploma?
scientists. Yeah, high school.
No, I have my high school diploma.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. That's why. So,
what's a
he's got the
GED?
GE General Electric. My point was,
I have the G as
I forgot what I was
general
gonna say.
stupidity.
What was I saying, George?
I don't know what were you talking about. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. But at this point in this stage of the pandemic, the mask has just become this like signal for look at me.
Okay,
I'm
guys.
so good.
Yeah, I'm a better person
such
than
a
you.
good citizen,
Yeah.
and you're not.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
It's just crazy how everyone suddenly forgot about the pandemic.
Bro, Russia's bombing the Ukraine.
It took a war for everyone to just say, "What pandemic? What?"
Not everyone. I
Yeah.
still see a lot of people screaming about COVID, going, the COVID cases in the Ukraine must be skyrocketing. I go, I don't think so, because if they're going up, they're also going down.
I still see people walking outside alone in the middle of nowhere, mask on.
Look, I've seen some really weird stuff since the mask mandate's gone. Like, everyone kind of forgot about COVID. Then I saw, what's his name? What's the health minister in Quebec? Jubé?
Yeah.
Yesterday with what looked like a nasty tan, like way too sunburned. I don't know where he's been, talking about how in September we're probably gonna have a sixth wave.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I
and the
saw
guy
that
was
shit.
like bronzed. I'm like, is he just overheating, or was he on vacation? Like, where was he at?
Yeah, they just came back from a 2-week break, so maybe. he
Yeah,
left.
the guy went down south and probably fucking,
Anyway.
I don't know, ate a few assholes.
Let me tell you guys about a cool story.
Cool story, bro. Cool story, bro.
When the war broke out in Ukraine, obviously you
so
had
cool.
You're talking about the Ukrainian Revolution in 2014 that no one seems to know about.
Yeah, no. So there's a lot of former military from all over the world that went to volunteer and to help out the Ukrainians.
As one does.
Among which you had an elite sniper from Canada. He's from Quebec, actually.
What's his name?
They don't say their name.
Does he have a
goes-
code name?
Yeah, Wally. His name. He's
That
known
was
as.
not as cool as I expected it to be.
Yeah, you thought it was gonna be like what, some robot fucking.
No, like, I'm thinking like sniper. He's probably like a cool moniker, like the boy from the Urals, like Vasily Zaitsev, the
Yeah,
sniper from the Second
what
World
a
War.
cool movie that was.
That was a fucking great
Amazing.
movie.
Enemy, have you seen it? Enemy at the Gate.
It's one of my favorite movies, honestly.
yeah.
Maybe, hold on.
Jude Law and Rachel Weisz.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, really one of my favorite, my favorite war movie ever. Enemy at the
Yeah.
Gates is phenomenal.
Enemy at the gates.
Yeah.
With, what's his name? The guy that plays the German guy. What's his name?
Oh wait.
I can't remember his name now.
Amazing
Not
actor.
Ed Harris.
Is that the
It-
one
yeah,
where
it is
the,
Ed
where
Harris.
the-
It is
where
Ed
the
Harris,
scene,
yeah.
where the scene starts and he's is that with the at the
It's gonna be good.
the battle of
With
Stalingrad.
yes and
It
he-
doesn't start at the Battle of Stalingrad.
no, but he shoots through that hole there. He shoots.
Yeah,
the
he's
Germans.
inside the fountain.
Yeah, bro, that's a good.
That's
fucking
crazy.
movie.
That is a fucking. I'm gonna watch it again. It's one of my favorite movies.
It is.
Honestly,
I
It's very
recently
good.
watched Saving Private Ryan.
it has everything you need in a movie. You have like cool snipers. You're killing Nazis.
Yeah.
It's got the Battle of Stalingrad, which is arguably one of the most like visually interesting battles of the Second World War. It's got heart. Rachel Weisz has sex in the mud. Like, it's great. It has everything.
Six in the mouth.
Like dirty, like military sex. You know, like you're like, I can't believe they're fucking, but people gotta fuck. No, excellent movie. But I thought he'd have like a cool name, like okay, so the boy from the Urals, the ghost of Kiev,
Yeah.
the cheese curd of Rimouski, or like something, you know, like
cheese curd of
Le Coureur des Bois, like one of these cool names.
it
But
would've
his fucking code name is Wally.
Yeah, his
it would have been funny if they just named him Putin, like P-O-U.
Not
like
as funny as it was in your head.
Not funny, but like
I see what you're saying.
definitely
Yeah, Putin. I
You
understand.
get it?
Not that funny.
The poutine's going.
Okay, that's
In
enough.
any case, this is apparently a very well-known striper. Sniper.
Hello, Putin. Ça va, big?
Revered sniper. So he went there, and all the pro-Russian media was coming out saying that he was killed in battle, and they couldn't find
no.
this guy. Yeah, for a couple of weeks, they're like, "Where's Wally?"
While he was in a whorehouse.
So he obviously couldn't convince. So he gave an interview the other day. He's like, "Look, I didn't
I'm
even
alive.
know. I didn't even know that this was going around. I guess I'm the last one to find out that I was supposed to be dead." So
Where's he been? Just fucking killing fucking
he
Russians?
was in Kiev, man. He was
Oh,
on the
good for
front
him.
line in Kiev.
Jesus.
Now, from the report that I read, he says that he didn't shoot anything, which I don't know if I'll
He's
believe
a
it.
shitty sniper.
He goes, no, I didn't engage in combat, but I did help, the Ukrainian forces
hold on.
identify
So
certain
Wally-
certain targets. that
Oh,
helped
okay,
or
like
whatever.
advanced scouting.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, snipers are good at that, though.
Of course they're good.
Yeah. Okay, I believe that, but he probably killed some people.
But the article that I read kind of like upplayed his reputation. There's like, oh, this is the guy that can shoot over 3.5 kilometers, and
That's crazy if that's true.
it's great, but it's not true.
It's like the Swedish sniper in the Second World War. What is he called? He has a cool name. He killed fucking all those in the Winter
I know
War
who you're talking about.
when Russia went into Sweden or Finland. Now I'm confused. You know what I'm talking about? Like prolific number of kills, like
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was reading about him the other day. I can't remember now, and I was like, "Does Greece have any prolific snipers?" So I
White
looked,
Death.
zero.
The
What?
White Death.
That's a fucking cool name.
Bro.
That is a fucking
like-
cool name.
yeah.
His real name is Simo Haiha.
Haija.
Haiha.
so he's from Finland. That sounds
Yeah.
Finnish.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
Finnish. Yeah.
With
their weird, like, Turkic language that they have.
How many kills? He died in 2002, age 96. Goddamn.
Fucking boss. Like, good for him.
I'm trying to see how many kills he
Grandpa,
had.
tell us about your time in the war. Many a Russian died. I was the White Death.
Early life, went to war service. Fuck. Bro, December 22nd, 1939, 138 sniper kills in 22 days.
Confirmed sniper kills. That's
Yep.
crazy. That's fucking
January
crazy.
26, 1940, 199 sniper kills, 61 in 35 days. So 2 kills a day, almost.
That seems lazy. You could do more.
Yeah, 17th of February,
So many
1940. 219 sniper kills in 22 days. 10 kills a day. 10 kills a day, bro.
That guy was fucking working for his money.
Fuck, bro.
So anyway, I'm
And,
reading
there's
this.
one last one. Sorry, this one's very impressive. He kept getting better and better, bro. March 7th.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, March 7th, 1940. One day after he was wounded, total 259 sniper kills in 18 days. Bro.
Crazy.
Wow.
No, but anyways, this guy
Sniping
they're-
must be
So
fucked
they're
up,
talking
though,
about he had this reputation, or they were circulating the news that this guy has the record of 3.5 kilometers, whatever it's called, kill or shoot or whatever, and it's not him. And then the article goes on to say that record belongs to another elite Canadian sniper. So I'm thinking,
We have
Canada.
that many elite snipers.
Yeah, I'm like, huh,
I mean, they probably
Canada,
grew
man.
up in the rural areas of Canada, and they're
Yeah.
just fucking.
Like
pew,
fucking
pew,
hunting
pew.
for their dads.
Well, the
Hunting,
world
yeah.
record for, I think.
Well, I just said it's 3.5 kilometers, and it's held by a Canadian
Okay,
sniper.
you just said it. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Which I'm surprised. I would definitely think that it's an American that would probably have that.
Why?
I don't know, because they seem like the military superpower. They probably have the big
Yeah, I understand. but
killer
I'll
snipers.
I'll explain
Maybe.
to you what the main difference is between the Canadian military and the American military.
Tell me.
Is that the American military, a lot of their soldiers go into it out of necessity.
Here too.
What necessity?
To pay for college,
Pay
to
for
have,
college.
Oh,
pay
okay.
for
Oh,
bills,
in that sense, okay.
healthcare, all kinds of reasons.
yeah, they go
why
to
people
military
go in.
college or whatever.
Some
Yeah.
of them aren't, but people in Canada, most of the time, I'm not talking about like in cities or whatever. Most Canadian soldiers, especially coming from like more well-off areas, go into it by choice.
So he may be right. He has no statistical or empirical evidence to back that up. It's just something he believes to be true based on things he's
No, but-
heard. I'm not sure if he's right, though.
I just
You may
I
be
just-
right,
I
but
just
I'm
thought-
not sure if that's true.
I just thought just from the sheer number of
You'd think, yeah.
military
You'd think that that's true.
personnel
But
in
at the
the
same
US,
time,
they'll
they all undergo a similar training. All the NATO armies, right? It's very similar. Like I think they cooperate
Yeah.
and train each other. But I mean, well, okay. So we have a killer sniper. We have some good snipers.
Anyway, so he's alive.
Good to know. It's a big country. If you want to kill something, they're always far, right? A lot of Canada out there. So Wally's good. Wally's all right.
I just find it fascinating how, in this little microcosm, they're like, oh, yeah, Wally's coming to Ukraine. It's like they probably know.
It's not a microcosm. It's just fucking stories and narratives they're spinning so we can
but
pay
you
attention.
don't know these, but within the military.
For all I know, Wally doesn't fucking exist.
No,
he's just some
There's a picture of him.
Because that proves what, George?
He gave an interview, and
Again, that proves
Wally.
what?
That
Without
is him.
knowing his real name, where I can go and find the information about him, I don't know.
So what, they just planted a guy there and say, play Wally, you're the elite sniper.
I'm not saying they did anything. I'm just saying who fucking knows.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It's just a fun story.
The propaganda machine works in multiple directions for multiple different reasons at multiple different times, especially during a conflict.
Now, since we're on the conflict, let's just talk about the Russian oligarch, Mr. Abramovich, owner of Chelsea,
Oh, yeah?
who's been on the run.
Why is he running?
Because, ever since they have the sanctions, especially, I think it was obviously in the UK, he didn't want to have any assets seized or whatever. He fled with two of the biggest yachts in the world that apparently belonged to him. And there's this hacker, I saw this somewhere where he was following him. I don't know if you guys saw this, but
No.
you know how you have that satellite, well, it's like that image where you can see the planes and where they're going. It's like this, you see all the plane routes. You've seen it online where you can track.
Yeah. What is it called? Flight tracker.
Whatever, yeah.
Flight tracker radar. Yeah.
So it was something similar. It looked something similar to that.
But just for him?
But it was his yachts. And it's like, where the fuck is he going? And he was going all around the Mediterranean.
I think I was just having a party.
No, he was thinking, okay, let's go to Italy. And then Italy suddenly implemented the sanctions. Whoop, and then you see the ships kind of rerouting. Finally,
Where'd he end up? Malta.
they docked in Turkey.
Safe haven. Safe port.
So the big question is like, okay, what kind of role is Turkey playing in this conflict? And obviously, there's no sanctions there. He has safe passage.
Yeah.
His boats are both docked in Turkey for how long, nobody knows. But I just find it mysterious how fucking crazy politics this country plays. It's ridiculous to me.
Turkey is
You're a NATO ally,
Turkey is a
and they're
dangerous
playing
fucking.
what kind of dangerous game is this country
I
playing?
don't know what they're fucking.
Every
what their end
Western
game is.
country is imposing sanctions. All these oligarchs are fucking shitting their pants right now. A lot of them have resigned from all these boards that they've been in, especially, I can't remember the bank's name.
HSBC.
No. It's a Turkish, it's a Russian bank, and there's, I think, two that resigned from the board. Anyway.
Not the HSBC. That's the Hudson's Bay. No, that's the HBC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And-
You know
and-
what I'm talking about?
I can't
The
remember.
Burgundy one. The Shanghai Bank or whatever it is.
I don't know what it is.
Anyway.
Anyways, whatever. So, and Turkey just, I don't know, man.
Turkey's just doing Turkey.
They're just flying below the
Turkey's
radar.
like, oh,
We're doing
big
our own
conflict
thing.
going on. We have a big announcements. We're changing our name. We're just changing the spelling,
That's the
and we
big
have to
issue.
pronounce it like you're choking. Turkey.
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 Anyway.
And we're like, what? Really, Turkey? That's what you're doing? They're like, no, it's very important to us.
Did you
Very
know?
important.
I don't know if I told you the story, but a couple weeks ago we actually mentioned on the show there was this hacker in the U.S. that was tracking Elon Musk, and there was
I don't remember this.
Yeah, they had this beef going on Twitter, and he was saying, "Oh, here's where Elon Musk is now." He was tracking his
What a
private
dick
jets,
move.
whatever. That same guy. Ever since the conflict started, he's been tracking the oligarchs. I think it's him that put it out
This guy
there.
needs to fucking get a new hobby.
But I don't know, man. I just find it funny. Like, okay, what do I do today? Let's see if I can hack in whatever system and track these guys.
Turkey, that's all I can think of now.
So that's what's happening in Turkey. I don't know what kind of role they're playing, but to take in these oligarchs and to not sanction them, I don't know. I mean,
I disagree with sanctioning them because I think it's all pointless. If we want to do something, we should just do it.
no, because it has a direct impact on Putin because he depends exclusively on this money. Also, this morning I heard completely different from this, but a top cabinet minister. I don't know how much power ministers have in Russia.
Yeah,
'cause
I mean,
everything-
he's reassigned a huge part of his inner circle.
he
recently.
resigned. I can't remember his name.
What does that mean in Russia, though, when you resign? Do you die after?
But listen to this. He resigned and fled Russia.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
that
So he
makes
resigned,
sense.
but it's a big move. And
But he has like a trust issue right now, Putin. Like his inner circle is either.
he got rid of. Was it
I
you
was
that
li-
told me he got rid of all his security detail? He
It
brought
wasn't me
in-
who told you, but yeah, actually that CIA guy that was on Rogan's show, they were talking about it, how it's come out now that a huge part of his inner circle is no longer with him, like it's been changed.
Yeah.
Because they can't, like our intelligence, like Western intelligence, can't figure out if Putin had bad intel about Ukraine, or if they gave him intel and he was like, I'm Putin, I will go in, it'll be quick. It's like they're not sure. So it looks like maybe he had bad intel and he's pissed.
Everyone, it seems to be
Because there's no way Putin thought he was going into the Ukraine and he would still be there 2 months in.
No way.
Like he can't take Kiev still.
No way in hell. First of all, everyone is surprised by the level at which Ukraine is retaliating to this. Resisting. I heard in the beginning that Putin had gotten Chechen militia to join the forces. Yesterday I saw news that they were pretty much all airlifted back to Chechnya. They're abandoning.
Putin's not stupid. If you let Chechens loose in the fucking Ukraine, you know the kind of war crimes the Chechens are going to commit.
But that's what happened. There were, I think, over 1,000 Chechens that were fighting, and they all fled.
It was a threat. It was like, look, the Chechens are here. But Putin's not crazy. He knows if they start committing fucking war atrocities like the kind that only Chechens can do. I think he pulled them out. He's like, okay.
Because he doesn't want problems,
Because you can't control the fucking Chechen battalion of fucking psychos.
So you think the Western media is playing into?
I think all the stories we're hearing are bullshit. Yeah. I'm not even sure why Putin's there at this point. It's unclear to me still. Like, I know that he was unhappy that in 2014 they ousted what's his name? What's his fucking name? The guy who during the Winter Revolution in the Ukraine. When they got rid of the Russian-placed government in 2014.
I forget.
Goringer.
Oh, whatever.
I can't remember. Anyways, so like, I know Putin wants that back, obviously. He has it in Belarus. He does for sure have some ideas of reclaiming some of his sphere of influence, which I get. If you're Putin, you would want that. But a direct assault like this seems like that's not how you get what you want if you're Putin. So it's confusing. Like, I don't really understand. Like, I don't know if you've noticed this. I haven't really taken a position in terms of my opinion on what's going on because it's unclear to me what's happening still.
Yeah, the information is
Gorbachev. No, not Gorbachev.
No, not Gorbachev.
Gorbachev was in the Balkans.
No, Gorbachev was Russia's prime minister.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of
He's the one
Milosevic for some reason.
He's the one that ended the
I was thinking
the
of
Soviet era.
Milosevic.
But in any case, what we're learning is that most of the cities that the Russian forces had invaded are still not occupied by Russian forces. They're pulling back consistently. So you have all these the Ukrainian forces that are withstanding these attacks. Like in Mariupol, first of all, there's nothing left in that city. In Mariupol, it's done.
See, fucking the Greek government come on like we will rebuild the maternity ward. I'm like, aren't you broke? What are you doing? Build some fucking. Greece doesn't have enough maternity wards. Hey, Mitsotakis, Greece. Love the energy, guys. Love it. I love it. It's great.
It's a sign of solidarity.
I mean, send some people to help rebuild. But like, shouldn't you be building some infrastructure that the Germans don't fucking own? Like, build some of your own. Again, love the energy. Love the initiative. Kind of nonsense. You're just virtue signaling. Get some shit done. Yeah. Right? And I know George was probably like, fucking Mitsotakis. Wow.
No,
he does this and he looks great with his shirt off. Because I know you have a hard on for Kirk. Every time we talk about him, you're like, I love this government. Fucking... sold the whole country into privatization in fucking foreign hands.
Compared to what Greece has had in the last 40 years, you got to give it to the guy. I mean, this
is
progress.
No, you can't compare it like that. You're like...
Sure you could.
You can say, compared to what we had, he's doing a phenomenal job, except he's still terrible.
How is he terrible?
What has he done for Greece as an infrastructure, as a sovereign state? Greece is still a failed state. Just because they don't owe money on fucking ledgers anymore.
No, they still owe money.
I mean, everyone owes money. You have a running debt. That's fine. But like... in the name of serving an illicit debt that we were told we owed, not us, I'm not a Greek citizen anymore, but so what do we say? Like the memorandums, what are we celebrating? Paying off a debt that the Greek taxpayer didn't actually accrue?
You're absolutely right.
Nonsense. Yeah. It's fucking nonsense.
I'm just saying in terms of the progress it has made, first of all, in reducing the size of the state, which is leaps and bounds compared to what it used to be.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that. But what do you mean by reducing the size of the state? Like the fonctionnaires or the state assets? Because they also did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they literally privatized every part of the public infrastructure.
It was the strategy.
So think about it. If you don't own if none of the companies that run the country and affect its GDP, none of them are Greek owned. None of the public works are state owned. So what is the country at that point? A series of tax collections. Greece is a failed state.
I don't know if it's look.
200 years. We lasted 200 years.
It turned the page. From one day to the next into privatization. That'll give it to you. But there's never been more a foreign investment in Greece than there have been in the last 3-4 years. We've never seen that before. It has one of the biggest stock exchange, I think. I want to say in the world. It has one of the a couple of years ago, Greece's stock exchange was top, like in terms of growth.
What's Greece's stock exchange number? Like, what's it called?
I don't know.
Like, it's not the NASDAQ. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
no,
I must
know.
have a name. I just have no idea.
Yeah, I'm sure if you search it, you'll find it.
I've never.
In any case, I mean, the progress.
In
that
my mind, they didn't have one.
It's
No,
just
man.
called the Athens Stock Exchange.
The Athex. Athex. I like that.
Yeah, Athex. Yeah,
Athex.
Anyways.
I like how Greeks abbreviate things. Because Athex.
Everything is an abbreviation.
Athex.
You know, the thing is, they all know what you're talking about.
We're 172nd.
What?
Yeah, not high up.
We're 172nd.
I don't know how Greece's stock exchange could be number one in the world. It's a
No,
tiny country.
a couple. I think 2 years ago, it had the biggest growth.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. In terms of growth.
Maybe in terms of growth.
In
yeah.
terms of money,
We're
we
still
have no
100
money.
Yeah, our cap is
You're not
54
gonna-
billion. Bro.
Yeah,
People are playing
tiny.
trillions.
Obviously, but you're not going to compare.
Well, it's the way you said it. I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
nuts.
I was like, really?
My bad. Anyways, we're not going to get into Greece, but I agree with you. It's like, why are you throwing money? I get the whole move, the whole solidarity thing. We're with you. Don't worry. Fear
Look,
not. Greece is
also
there.
the
We're
fact
going to
that it's
rebuild with you.
and I understand the historical cultural ties to Mariupol and that there was a Greek Orthodox minority and that it's part of our cultural history. I get it. I mean, I understand. Also, there are a lot of fucking Rosopodi up there, like those Greeks, and they've been slaughtered too throughout this process, but they're not Greek citizens. So, like, it's like when Saudi Arabia, like, all of a sudden is like, who's bothering the Arabs? I'm like, Greece, like, relax. So they have a military. We barely have anything. We got a few ships.
No, Greece's military is okay. I mean,
Not
they have a
enough
very
to
strong
fucking
Air
scare
Force.
Russia.
But you know what the thing is, Phil? Everyone thought that, and we're seeing now with this conflict in Ukraine that maybe it's not that strong.
I don't know about that.
Based on the
I'll
information
stand
we're
by my
getting.
earlier
Yeah.
statement. If the Russian Federation wanted to walk into the Ukraine and take it, and that was their ultimate objective, it would have happened by now.
Why has so
So
what,
something else is going on. I just don't know what that something else is. Like Italy invading Greece in the Second World War and having a hard time, similar population size, similar infrastructure, Italy a bit more advanced, but also then you take into account that their soldiers weren't into it. Like, you can see it,
Yeah,
right?
Same thing here. The Russian soldiers, from what we're getting as information, they're not
Again,
very motivated.
Don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. What I'm saying is, this is the fucking Russian Federation. Like, technology-wise.
And you know, there's been some high-ranking commanders.
And then
that-
Kazakhstan comes out against. No, is it Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan?
Well,
One of the stands, the former Soviet stands.
They came out
They came
against
out and
what?
said like we don't support what Putin's doing
Yeah.
publicly. Who was it last week?
I don't know.
Not the Uzbeks. It might have been the Uzbeks.
First time I hear that. Okay.
And so like that, I would never expect that from especially those countries like the stands, right, which are heavily reliant on Russian investment. But maybe they're like, hey, if he does this, we're not getting our fucking cash flow from all the oligarchs who hide money here.
Yeah, exactly.
So Putin, you need to stop. I don't know. Kazakhstan hasn't said much. Their whole fucking missile program is there. Half their nukes are probably stored there. It's weird. It's something about. You ever see a situation you're like, something's wrong here.
isn't
Something
right.
doesn't
Yeah.
add up. Like it seems to add up on the surface, but it doesn't.
But you're right. I thought like within a week max, it'd be over. This thing would be like, fuck, okay, Russia annihilated fucking Ukraine because that's what everybody thought, right?
I was reading how there's or was it on the podcast that I listened to? I don't remember, so I can't corroborate any of this information, but there is a working theory based on some intelligence, and again, not sure if this is real, that Putin was misled by bad intel. He believed that they would march in. Within a couple of days, they would be welcomed by the Ukrainian people as saviors.
Oh my God.
Now, is that true?
Believing their own propaganda.
If that is true, though, that would make sense as to what's going on. It would explain a bit of what's
So
happening.
he
Like, they
just
didn't go
sent
in
the big
prepared.
numbers.
He just sent in his advanced troops that he had stationed there. They didn't know what was happening. They thought they'd be welcomed, but they weren't.
How do you even think like that, dude? Like,
I mean, the Ukrainians they're basically Russians. They share a parent culture. I mean, they have strong ties.
Yeah, but you saw what happened in 2014. They didn't welcome you then either when they annexed.
People have short memories.
Yeah.
When they annexed the Crimea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There wasn't much support with Russians back then.
It's weird. Like, how old is Putin now? Like, is he gonna die soon?
He must be in his 70s, right?
That's it. Okay. I mean, I was like, can we wait it out?
He must be in his 70s. I mean.
Putin.
He must be in his- But I was listening to Peter Mansbridge's podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he had a specialist.
69.
69.
Well, that's impressive for a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, he looks good, eh?
Yeah, bro.
So
I thought he was like mid-40s.
So Mansbridge had a specialist. He was actually
Pietro.
Eh?
Pietro Mansbridge.
Yeah, Petro.
Greek guy.
Greek, of course. Mansbridis.
Anthropokeferidis. He's Pondian. You like that, eh? No one got that in the chat, but it's okay. It was high concept Greek joke.
So, and the guy was actually calling in from the Ukraine, and he was explaining how, and he threw a bunch of stats. I never checked them out, but I'll take his word for
That's
it.
fine.
Nobody knows
I
this,
expect
but
nothing less from you.
But Ukraine was one of the biggest arms manufacturers in the world.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
That's very suspicious.
They were on top of the list. They were, I think, on top 5. He said, but ever since 2014, they don't appear yet, in the list because obviously since 2014, since the conflict, they've been keeping all these arms, militarizing.
So, are you saying
Ukraine.
from 2014 to today, there's been an armament period of the Ukraine?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a fucking big deal. Pan said that 3 weeks ago, and you're like, "Stop, man!" On this show.
But
he said that to you, and you're like, "No, what are you fucking talking about?" I remember
said that.
Yeah,
He said that
because you know when he
Ukraine has been-
expresses his opinion about what's happening, it's
No, but he was talking about foreign arms coming to Ukraine.
he was talking about the Ukraine.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I misunderstood. But yeah, so what this guy was saying that
frogs are turning the water gay, man.
so what this guy was saying that before 2014, Ukraine was on top of the list. They had really high quality.
In terms of
Exactly,
not
exports.
output, exports.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah. But
Okay.
since 2014, they don't appear on that list anymore. And his analysis was that, yeah, of course it doesn't appear on the list because they haven't been selling weapons. They've been
They're
keeping them because of everything that's been happening. So they've been really
So let's play a game.
underrating. People have underrated
What they have in their arsenal.
Exactly.
So let's play a game. You're Putin. You're pissed off at NATO already. You're also you're like, oh, I want to be big dictator like Stalin. You know, like I want all that back because he's publicly stated that the Soviet Union collapse was a tragedy. Right? He said this publicly many times.
He was actively in duty when
He was a
Soviet
KGB officer, wasn't he?
in Berlin. Yeah, he was Berlin.
East
of course.
Berlin. Yeah. So you're Putin, right? You hate the West because you've been indoctrinated from a young age. Your whole world collapses, right? Then you're in power, and you realize it's easy to be in power. I make power. I make money. I make power. No problem. Then you're like, NATO, fuck off. And they're like, yeah. More countries. Then the fucking Ukrainians get belligerent. They decide, like, we got our own country now. And he's like, how dare you? Like, after everything I've done for you, because that's probably the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
And then you realize that they're fucking stockpiling weapons on your border. And now they're talking about becoming a NATO ally. If you were Putin, I'm not justifying him. I'm just trying to rationalize, like, to understand what he's
From
doing.
a sick man's point of view.
Not a sick man, from a Putin point of
Yeah,
view.
a sick man, yeah.
Doesn't it, what he's doing make a lot of sense?
Again, I'll stick to the fact that it doesn't justify invading
Absolutely.
a sovereign state.
Absolutely.
But if you're a sick man in the head, then maybe. I don't know.
Depends on your definition of sick. Was
Yeah.
Alexander the greatest sick man? I would say yes. Exactly. Funny, huh? How that works?
No. There's been many discussions about this, but keep in mind that actually Alexander the Great, first of all, it was the Hellenistic period, right? He was spreading Hellenism and he was
He
welcomed.
created that.
Yeah.
He was not welcomed everywhere.
He was welcomed as a
Not everywhere.
liberator in a
Not
lot of the
everywhere.
countries he went.
That is not true.
Yes, it is.
In some places, yes.
Yeah.
In some places,
Like
big
India.
no.
India glorified him.
They were just impressed.
Yeah.
Like, who's this guy? He brought his weird spinach samosa. We like
We
it.
almost lost to the Indian military though. Because
I mean, they were
of the-
exhausted and fucking ravaged by disease.
That's where the thing ended in India.
And bacteria.
And the elephants, bro. The elephants fucking.
Can you imagine you're like a Greek guy from like a mountain and you go on this like long conquest for years, right?
You think
And you're
they
like,
knew what an
I've
elephant
seen.
was?
He's like, yo, Yanni, Ella, I've seen everything.
Yanni.
Yeah, there was no Yanni then, but like, yo, Alkiviadi, bro, I've seen fucking everything. I even saw a dude with tits, you know? He's like, there's nothing left to see. What the fuck?
Yeah, and you're exhausted.
Like there's a fucking elephant.
You're exhausted.
But
bro.
no, the
Could you
Greeks were
imagine-
aware of elephants though, because
They must have been.
oh no,
right?
wait.
I don't.
I was thinking of the Punic Wars. That's after Alexander, when Hannibal marched the elephants.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure the Greeks had some idea of elephants. No,
I don't
but
think
still,
so.
that's crazy. Can you imagine? You're like, I've seen everything.
Maybe.
I wonder. I mean,
They
is
had a
there?
presence
The Egyptians had some
in
elephants.
Egypt,
Yeah,
exactly.
They must
yeah.
Have known
you're
about
right, you're
elephants,
right.
right?
Yeah, they
And
must
they
have
were an
known.
earlier civilization too. So
Yeah.
Yes, but
The
not
elephant
dirty
civilization. They
elephants.
created a lot of things. They built the pyramids. The
But I was
elephants.
You
talking-
didn't hear what I just said.
What'd
What'd
you say?
But not dirty elephants.
what?
It's dirty, dude.
I don't get it. I don't.
You know why? He just said it. He thought he whispered, but he whispered it into his mic because they're Indian. He said. No, but the idea that like people walk that far away from home to me is still mind blowing.
It's impressive. That
Yeah.
is what it is. It's just the sheer number of soldiers. Like,
But
like
the
his
point
army.
I'm trying to make is he wasn't welcomed everywhere. He wasn't.
In most places, he was.
Even Hitler was welcomed in a few places.
Well, what?
I don't know, like Switzerland for his
Oh,
gold deposits.
yeah, maybe. No, but it's funny. Side story. I was talking like this years ago. I was talking with a Pakistani man, a volunteer.
He was from Pakistan.
He's from Pakistan.
Yeah.
And he was. I don't know how we got into the discussion about Alexander the Great. And he goes, in Pakistan.
He's venerated.
In Pakistan, we still admire what Alexander the Great. In fact, he goes, his name is still being used. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? You don't have Alexander. He goes, no, Iskandar. Iskandar is from Alexander. I'm like, get out. I'm like,
You didn't know that?
Cool. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He
I
told me.
realized because I used to see a lot of Iskandars,
Iskandar,
like who were Muslims.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking weird name. And then I was reading about Skanderberg, the Albanian warlord.
Never heard of him.
Anyways, oh really? There's an interesting read. What was his real name? Georgi Kastriot. That was his name.
Okay.
Georgi. And his name is from Iskander because there was like Muslims from the Ottoman Empire in that part of Albania. And Skanderberg is just an English mispronunciation by the Germanic tribes of Iskander. I'm like, these are all because his nickname was Alexander the Great because he was like a warlord.
Right.
I was like, what a weird fucking thing. Like, strange.
But you have to give it to the guy at the age that he was to have conquered all. Like, it's impressive.
I'm 2.5 years older than he was when he died, and I ain't done shit.
It's fucking crazy.
I mean, I also didn't start off with daddy's money. Come on.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on, guys. There's going to be 3 new area codes in Quebec.
Got hose.
Yeah, don't know.
I
how.
got
area
hose.
codes.
He doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Indifferent.
So in
I
Montreal,
just said it.
What do we have now? 514, which is the only real area code.
Exactly. It's
438
438
for you bitches. 450 for you fucking low class. I don't know. That's off island.
And there was a 579 also.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah, there
That's a
is.
stupid area code.
So this is what it is. There's the new area code in Montreal is 263, and that'll be in the.
Sounds like the beginnings of a Park X phone number in the 80s. 263-7855.
I don't know why, bro. That made me want to vomit.
Relax, dude.
Relax, dude.
Like 438 was digestible. I
No,
thought
it was not.
Yes, it was.
It feels like a
438.
betrayal. It's like it's 514, man. It's like
I feel like I don't care.
and nobody cares.
Zero care.
I just need to inform
Not a
the
care
people.
at all.
This is the morning show.
263, bro.
So guys, if you get a 263 number, it's not a fucking Chinese robocall, even though it might be.
There's another. Look at this one. The other area code, 354.
That I
In
I like that.
Montreal?
I like that.
354. No, this will.
I like 354.
It's the region around Montreal. Basically,
We don't care.
it used to be 450 and 579. I didn't know 579.
So this is like
existed.
Neo Laval, Neo Broussard numbers.
That's right. Yeah.
45 what?
450 and 579. Did you know that 579
No, I did
existed?
not. I knew not of this thing.
Nobody knew 579
Interesting.
existed. And then there's going to be another area code close to the Quebec region, 468. So
I'd like to welcome you, Pantelis, to this beautiful new area codes. Breaking fucking news right now. Yep. Yeah.
are you sitting?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll join you.
New area codes. Already 438 when it came out, I hated everyone.
I hated everyone.
Everyone that got 438 could go fuck themselves. Thank you.
So there
Hey,
you go,
man.
guys. A new area code's coming by the end of this year. All right.
Breaking news. Is this what I walked? That's the breaking news of the day. Nothing else. Did you speak on your communist friends uniting?
Yeah,
to
we spoke about the
destroy
marriage,
democracy.
the happy union. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm.
We had a good little discussion about that.
I'm a
This microphone
pro-democracy
smells
fellow.
fucking awesome. Who sat here? It smells like men's aftershave.
It's impossible. He
Lysol that
yeah,
with
it
me.
might smell like a Lysol. Yeah,
I don't know about Lysol.
you should use.
He's making a sound. Shut the fuck up.
No. You know what it probably smells like? I don't know, maybe man breath and Lysol.
No, there's no man
No,
breath.
there's no man breath.
This is
It's a fresh mic.
aftershave.
A woman was sitting there last.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because that one still stinks.
Smells like Vegemite. So I'm against it. I'm a pro-democracy guy. I'm
Right.
a pro-freedom guy. So I do not like any form of totalitarianism. So I don't like little cobinas that are.
Isn't part of democracy though the idea of parties
Yeah.
that have different interests coming together for the
To
best
block-
interests of Canadian population?
Right, but how is this in the best interest of Canadian population? So one of the guys that's decided to join in, the brown guy, actively said, no, listen to me, actively said, Justin Trudeau is bad for the country. He's divisive. He's done. So the guy that you said is divisive, bad for the country,
Is now your friend.
is now your friend because he's going to make sure that you don't lose any power for the next 3 to 5
years.
years. Come on.
3 years.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
In
Let's
his-
not play this
yeah,
game.
Look, I'm obviously playing devil's advocate here, but in his defense, he came out and said, "Look, man, yeah, we don't agree, but if it means pushing forward our agenda, which is pharmacare and free dental care, then yeah, let's do this until 2025."
Get out of here, dude. This guy's gonna push free dental.
You're gonna show up late. We're gonna talk about the same stuff again.
No, this guy's gonna push
fine,
free
yeah.
dental, bro. This guy's not gonna push free dental. They've been promising stupid shit like that for 50 years. I don't trust anything they say.
Well, look, I posted about this on my
Anyone who
Twitter,
can't afford dental because they don't have insurance has access to free dental in most provinces already.
I don't have
I'm
insurance.
just curious to see how long
You make
this
too much
lasts.
money, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how long,
the 1%.
if actually this is going to go until 2025.
Richard.
I think that both parties would have an interest in having that, extended to 2025. Nobody wants to call elections because at this
so
point,
warm.
I don't have any money because I waste all my money on dental.
yeah.
Your teeth look great though.
Thank you.
Dental and gasoline.
By the way, bathroom story. You know Scoopy Snacks?
Oh God, yeah.
The walker.
I thought he would be dead.
I finally interacted with him.
Is he a retard?
He seems to be.
Yeah.
So as I opened the door, I almost hit him because he was exiting the washroom, and he looks at me and he goes, I go, what? He goes, mask. I was like, face. He's like, okay, and he left. I'm like, that was.
Oh, he is retarded. Yeah.
I think he might be retarded. Yeah. What? Or he just.
What happened?
He was telling me like, "Where's your mask?" He was like, "Mask." I was like, "Face." I
He
thought we
yell
were
at
just
you.
showing what we had on us. I didn't understand the game. I just. I was like, "Face." He's like,
I should have been like mask, finger, like. You have to take a shit with
Because
the mask
I
on.
didn't
now?
know
would've
if he
ignored
was.
him.
I didn't know if he was like on a spectrum. I didn't want to be aggressive. You know?
Okay, guys. Final. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be the final
Final.
story, but a lot of provincial M&As are either abandoning ship.
Okay.
We don't know how to describe it, or they're calling it quits after a valuable.
Valiant.
And long,
Valiant.
Valiant.
a valiant and long career in politics.
It was valuable too for them, for sure.
When was it?
Like who?
When was the thing? Yeah.
What do you mean? They're leaving their parties or they're leaving politics?
Monday, Christine St. Pierre. Was it Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember. Christine St. Pierre, M&A in Lacadie, which is New Bordeaux, in a little part of Hunsik.
I know what that is.
Announced that she won't be running again in the next election. So we've had this conversation. I don't know if we had it
Fucking
privately or whatever, but Dominique Anglade is desperately in need of having these safe seats in Montreal because that's based on the polls, it's pretty much the only
So
place.
she
where
needs to fucking start building her cabinet up. Who she's going to put in the next election? Did she call you yet?
No.
Yeah, I like your watch. I was looking at it before.
Thanks.
It's a cool watch.
Thanks,
Cool
thank you,
Jet
thanks.
black. It's stealth.
So she desperately needs these safe ridings in Montreal because that's the only place where she's probably going to get people elected. She lost the region of Quebec, Laval. She's probably going to be left maybe with one seat. South Shore, questionable, and the Outaouais region,
questionable.
She's probably going to have one, maybe two, but mostly one riding. So essentially, she's going to be reduced down to anywhere between 17 and 20 seats, which is embarrassing for the Liberal Party. So Christine St. Pierre called it quits. So they're expecting more people to come forward, like Letao in the West Island.
Marcia Tao.
Letao.
Oh.
What's that?
Carlos Letao. He was a former minister of finance. He gets
Oh,
elected in
she's
the West
looking
Island.
for.
She wants seats. So now the big question is she telling them, listen, step down because I need them. I need to bring new people in. I need to bring our quote unquote star candidates, which I'm not so sure how she can get star candidates. I don't know.
Don't sell yourself short.
Bro, I'm a star candidate.
I don't see how anybody would leave their well-paying jobs in the private sector to go sit in opposition in Quebec.
Tell her she gives me $500,000 a year. I'll consider it.
How much?
$500,000 a year. I'll consider it.
I want.
What do M&As make, George? If they're not ministers, just like what is it, 80 grand?
No, base salary for an elected member in the National Assembly is I think $95,000.
Not a bad salary.
Seems like a lot for what
It's
they're
actually nothing, bro. What are you talking about?
There's actually nothing for what they do.
doing. What they fucking do?
Yeah,
have
they
no
provide
specific
nothing.
Skill set.
They just give us grief.
No, it's I don't think it's a lot of money considering the hours that they put in. And I'm obviously biased,
No,
but
George,
the
those are
hours
the
they put
hours
in.
that people like you put in
Yeah.
so that they can make $90,000
Yeah.
well, I don't
Most of those guys sleep
with people.
during debates. We've seen this. They're just like conked out. Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Anyways, no, so it starts there. But if you sit in committees, you get bumped
Get
up there.
incentivized to vote the right way.
I got some incentive
On average, they're around 120, 130.
Wow.
And I think a portion of it is tax free. But I think a couple years ago, Justin Trudeau came out and canceled that. So I don't know how. Whatever, it doesn't
I
matter.
like that. The government's giving money, but he's also taking back money. And then interesting. I like
If
that.
you're a minister provincially, I think the base salary is 125, 130, and then it goes up based on committees and all that stuff. Anyways, whatever.
What's calling you?
What's
up?
He's telling us
He's
news.
done. I saw him.
So that's it. So you have all these people that
I wanna
are
get some banter in at the end of the episode.
that are sitting out for the next one, and I'm just curious to see who, if anyone, Dominic Anglade is going to bring in to sit in Montreal. So
I would tell you, George, expect a phone call.
Yeah, well, they're gonna pick you now that you got this internet fame.
Yeah.
internet fame. Yeah, sure.
On Just Us Dads.
I would suggest they pick you.
I mean, you have a proven track record of not winning the election.
No, he won previously. He just didn't win when he represented himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And not for lack of trying. Like,
No.
we made him videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Now he's got this
Those were
entire
good videos.
media
They were good
empire behind him.
videos, but-
Now he's got a whole network behind him. This
but
is his
the
chance.
idea that like you didn't win.
Of 110 subscribers.
Guys, my videos were fucking top-notch propaganda.
Well, you
that I
got
made
mine
for
too.
you.
I'm gonna
We had
promote the
kids in
fuck out of it. I'll
background,
make a
we had
propaganda film.
schools, They were great.
I'll put it before.
I want to talk to you after about.
I'll put it before every podcast. I'll just put a thing.
George
We-
has
This is
we-
a
yeah.
public announcement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we demand change.
Oh yes.
Aren't you tired of politicians
Who don't care?
raping kids and starting fires in your neighborhood? And we just show pictures of all of the people that are against them. And under it says disclaimer: we're not sure if they started fires or raped any children. And it's just great. And at the end, it's like vote for the only person that's actually good. George Chan, paid for by the George Chanzio's lobby.
Never even been on a private jet, let alone an island.
Yeah.
They don't even let him on the island
George
of
has
Montreal.
actively said repeatedly that he's against rape and pedophilia. Have any other of the candidates come out and publicly said they're against those things? No, which means they're probably for them.
And then like a disclaimer again.
The really politician
Yeah.
slimy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
George said, women are okay. Does that mean that all the other politicians think women are not okay? Vote George.
We should make that just for the hell of it.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
If I can build that on stock footage
Yeah.
and pictures of George eating that croissant. From
And
his
then we just
miniseries.
take all
keep repeating this.
and all the shit that the other people, all the people that he's fighting, we just take any benign clip like of them saying like, "Oh, I'm not too sure," and we take that, "Not too sure."
About what?
Confused. Is it Alzheimer's? We can't trust people that don't know where they are or what they're doing. You just-
George will put in the time and fight for you. I cut to that clip from the series. When you're panicking for running, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Last bit of news.
Oh, you
there.
had more. I'm sorry.
Just last one, guys. In celebration, 10-year anniversary of the student crisis. I don't know if you guys remember that in
pots and
2012.
pans?
The pots and pans.
The red squares?
Students are out in the street again.
Oh.
No one cares.
Why? They're happy because it's
want
springtime.
They want free education. Yeah, it's the
Oh,
spring.
free. They want it for free.
Free.
This
That's
time.
what. Well, that's
Really?
what they-
Because as far as I'm concerned, I believe they got a free education in real life matters the past 2 years. These dipshits just didn't realize. Yeah.
I think so too.
Is
So
it
wait.
even- is
So
it even
last time they came
possible?
out,
Yeah.
they wanted cheaper tuition, right? That was their
They
like.
wanted
central.
They were advocating for free education back
Yeah.
then, and they didn't settle for anything because Charest
The
wasn't
last 2
giving
years
anything
should
to
taught
them.
you
and
your
when
degree
we-
is nonsense
Legault's
and
not gonna
politics don't
negotiate
matter.
with them.
And you learned nothing.
Yeah,
So
they
what
got,
else do you
they
want?
got nothing out of Charest because honestly, back in those days, I mean, we have a very affordable education system compared to the rest of Canada, even the U.S.
I
You go
remember
get
back then they were using a lot of numbers like to justify. I'm like, those are what foreign students pay. Like they were using some of those numbers.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
foreign
yeah,
students
yeah.
pay a lot,
They
not
were-
us.
Which is fine because if,
And in
if
Quebec,
a
they
foreign
have-
sovereign nation is going to send a fucking a spy to do school here, then I'd like them. To
I
No,
don't
it's
know,
not
I
just
don't- I
Chinese.
don't know,
We have
yeah.
from all over the place.
I don't know what it's been since then, but I remember back in that in 2012. I mean, Quebec had one of the most generous student grant programs
Yeah, absolutely.
anywhere. So I don't understand. Whatever. I don't know how times have changed and how much student tuition is now, but to want it for free, man, I think is a little excessive. I don't know.
Also, you kind of get what you pay for. I mean, it could turn free, but it'll be worse than it is now.
It's not great already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many quality professors have left and they're teaching like in
don't know.
Ontario or in the U.S. or?
How many quality professors
there?
were there?
Yeah. That's the real question.
That's
yeah.
a real question. I mean,
And
I had some good professors.
I mean, the reason I stayed in political science was because I fell in love with these two fell in love guys. Poseidon, don't get any
Political three-way.
don't get any images there. No,
George,
I really
he's been in love with politics since college.
Ever heard of Jag Meat?
Oh, shit.
anyway.
No, I wouldn't make
I got
that leap.
nothing.
So yeah, so yeah.
The only good thing is that we're going to have the most progressive government on the planet. A coalition between the brown and the black coming together to rule this country. It will be amazing.
Were you not listening earlier? I have a theory. There's a deep fake going on. There is no Jag Meat thing. It's Justin Trudeau.
That'd be amazing.
It's Justin Trudeau in disguise.
Yeah.
And he's killing it.
Yeah, that'd
He's
be
killing it.
amazing.
He's on TikTok.
I'm just curious. Look, guys, and this is what I said before. It was one of the first pieces of news that we spoke about. I'm just curious to know how people feel in the caucus because guaranteed not everyone agrees with it. First of all, guaranteed not a lot of people in the NDP agree with them creating this. It's not a coalition, but this partnership, if you want, with the Liberals. And most definitely, there's a lot of, well, he calls them neoliberals.
They are neoliberals.
Yeah, they're neoliberals. Like the more fiscal liberals definitely fucking hate the NDP.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they feel about this. They probably shut them up. They're like, listen, this is what we're doing. You guys shut
Where are
the
you
fuck
from?
up.
Like Saskatchewan, like North Riding?
No, but what's it name? Candace Bergen came out actually publicly and said, listen, our mission for the next couple of weeks is to target these liberals that, we know who you are. We know who you are. We know that there's a huge portion of the caucus that disagrees with Justin Trudeau and they're hidden conservatives. You know what I mean?
Why do you call everyone? This is what I hate, bro. Everyone that disagrees with the status quo is either a hidden conservative, a neo-Nazi, a racist.
This is based on ideology,
Yeah,
right?
I could not
we know
like
where
you.
you are on the spectrum.
Yeah.
We know that you disagree with a lot of things that your leader has done, so we're gonna reach out to you. And she said it. She came out and she goes, "You know who you are. We'll be reaching out to you soon because you need to stand. You need to stand up. This cannot be
99% of the
happening."
Liberal Party was like, "Oh fuck, they're talking about me."
Can you imagine? I wonder what the percentage actually is.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot too. I just don't know how many there
And
actually are.
especially after everything that happened with the convoy, there's already division within the caucus. This coming out now, I don't know.
All right, well, let's see.
a
Poseidon,
mess.
cue the music.
Yeah.
Did you guys enjoy the news today? Poseidon, was it a good episode? You can tell me.
It was an excellent episode.
Fantastic
Yes,
episode is what I
I
would
did
say.
said some vile shit early on though.
Well, you gotta.
It's
you
definitely
gotta calm yourself.
clip-worthy.
It's early in the morning. Don't say vile stuff.
I
Poseidon.
didn't want to say it, but he forced me.
Okay, check out George Jiggity Transdrizos, the man with the plan, the future political emperor leader of Montreal, Canada, maybe even the province. We'll see how far this goes. Check out the links in the description. He's got a good podcast, Just Us Dads, out weekly. It's him and a bunch of other daddies talking about stuff that should only be talking about by mommies. So check out Just Us Dads Weekly, one of the hit Montreal podcasts about fathers by fathers out now. Phil Balabanos, busy making propaganda films for the left and the right. He doesn't care. Wherever the money is, that's where Phil is.
That's where you'll find me.
And right now, the money is in centrist politics, really. So Phil is out there making videos. He can make a video for you, depending on where the camera's looking at. Phil Balbounce, balbounce.com. Links are in the description.
Fill My
Also
Hole
the
coming out today.
podcast. Fill My Hole. New episode drops today, along with the new episode of 2 Drink Minimum. We did it via Skype because Mike was sick yesterday. So 2 Drink Minimum out now in 3 minutes. Thank you guys. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Go fuck yourselves.
Bye guys.